Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get my own podcast off the ground, I had so many questions. How do I record an episode? Where do I find background music? How do I get my show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all the other places people like to listen? Do I find advertisers? Where do I find advertisers? To answer to every one of those questions is very simple. Anchor is one of those one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing, and monetizing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free. Yes, you heard right. 100% free and 100% ridiculously easy to use. 1-2 sentences about how you use Anchor and what do you like about it. Well, what I like about it, it's easy. I just tap record. I'll just go away and we can talk about subjects. And then we can start making revenue from our subjects that we talk about, certain things that we like to talk about of the topic. So, if you've always wanted to start a podcast, go to anchor.fm/start, anchor.fm/start to join me and a diversity community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. I'll see you there. Anyways, I'm trying to delete my account, and I said, can you please delete my account? I don't want to be here anymore. I'm done with the website, so please delete my account. Used to be cool, but then you flipped out. I said I was scared. I don't want the FBI to be at my doorstep. If possible, can you delete my account? If possible. Is it possible? Please delete my account. I'm begging you. And he says, don't be silly. You're smarter than to think that'd happen. Here's an idea. If you update the website, add a delete account button, please, for God's sakes. Think you'd do that? I doubt it. I doubt it. Yeah, I know, right? I'd have to log in with my other account so I can share this, I guess. Well, you have an account with Facebook. What the heck, man? Yeah, I know. So I can just go to my own live. I could share it like that. Okay, why isn't it working? I need to hit the live button. I want to see what's live. Okay. No reply yet. I have to turn that down. That's going to echo. So every time you hit that, it just shares it out. Wow, that's crazy. I don't know if that's going to work. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work because this is going to be something hard to try to do to That's a good idea. I like that idea. Next time when he updates the website, he can take away the add on, not take away, but yeah, it's definitely a good idea. To have a button where he can remove an account if an account's not supposed to be there and the account's breaking the TOS terms of service. Yeah, I know. I like that idea. Because that's what the website is missing. The deactivating account. To deactivate your account. And that's what I want to do. I want to deactivate. I want to move on. I just want to stop going here. I'm not that smart. My mom always praised me for being smart. And he's saying, don't be silly, you're smarter than to think that'll happen. It would happen. Trust me. If the FBI found out about this, there would be trouble. That's a good idea, I like that idea. The deactivate button, to deactivate your account and shut it down forever. Now he's not even replying. Like he doesn't give a shit. He has to care somewhat. I have to get off of this. I have to get out of here. Like people were making me look bad. People did make me look bad. I'd have to go on like stuff, On like stuff. And you're trying to remove your account. I don't think it's gonna happen, honestly. So you're gonna unlike stuff. It's not gonna change anything. I want to be able to delete my account. I don't want to be here anymore. You could report yourself and type in a reason. Please delete this post. Yeah, just report it to the admin to get the post deleted. How's that gonna work? They're gonna know it's you reporting yourself. No, I just want this to stop. I want it all to stop. Please remove this. Reporting yourself. How is that gonna work? Add a delete account button in settings. That's a beautiful idea, hey. And he's not even responding in the chat. He obviously doesn't care. Obviously doesn't care. If you update the website, add a delete account button. Wow, this is terrible. Delete the account button. Okay, what does he say? Your drawing was about accidental as killing. Secret of NIMH.
You did it. You killed Nicodemus. That was no accident. Yes, I killed him. He wanted to destroy everything. I've learned this much. Take what you can. When you can. Then you've learned nothing. Friends, tonight we journey to Thorn Valley. We will leave no tracks. No evidence that the rats of Nim ever existed. Come.
Toy sent me that video. It's a good argument. Preview. Crap. Maybe I could be verbal about this situation. Joining of rape was about as accidental as the killing of Nostradamus by Jenner in The Secret of Nimh. Maybe he might call in. I doubt it. I doubt it. He wants to sit on his own place. What does that mean? Referred to? I gave him some idea. Maybe he can have a delete button to delete an account. That is one of my ideas. You're not an admin. I don't want to be an admin. I just want the account gone. We could always reply to it. True. Oh, I'm supposed to call in. Yes. Post reply. I want to talk about this because I do not want to be on here. This is a dangerous website. If you want to tell me why you want to keep my account, please call in. Otherwise, delete it. I had enough of being here. People are done calling me out. I had to delete my Twitter. And I had to delete Twitch. And I had to delete YouTube. Oh. That's all.
That's the problem. You take things and you don't put it back. Or you take it. I need to help you.
That. That's the gas pipe. Okay, where was I? Oh, yes, the website. What is he saying? He says, where is it? Oh, I'm supposed to call in. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know how to do that. Did you sign up to Podbean. Did you sign up to Podbean? That's what I'm going to ask. Hopefully he signs up. Oh, what does he say? Okay, where is it? If I'm calling, I'm probably going to use a regular phone because I live in the 80s. Hello, too much sauce, welcome. Why would you give him that? Why would you give him that? Don't worry, I have an idea. Oops, I didn't mean to lock that. I gotta go see real quick.
Yes. No, go give me that pumpkin. This is my favorite color.
Got that installed. Oh God, I don't want to talk on the phone because you might not take no for an answer about this account deletion, and that would be very rapey. But sure, go ahead, I guess. Oh, he's willing to do this. Ha, and I could get it on podcast. Perfect. Count out phone. And per error. How about with this? Account not found. You need to register. Sign up. We'll use Apple, I guess. Allow. Okay. Get number. Okay, let's share the number. 661. Remember, I don't like to do it like that. 661. Let's see. 214 7970. Okay, we got our number in. Let's see if it calls. We're going to take our time now. And we're going to wait. 661-214-7970. 661 214-7970. Hopefully I got the number right. That means other people can call you. Yeah, it's a throwaway number. I do not want to miss this conversation. Oh, he sent the message. Is this thing working? Hello?
What's going on?
Nothing much.
I turned down my podcast so there wouldn't be an echo, like feedback.
Okay, good.
So you'll notice a lack of feedback right now.
I'm sorry about that.
So yeah, I don't think the FBI is going to go after you just for being a member of the site, since nobody can show that you did anything edgy on there, and you went on record saying it was just a mistake. So account deletion doesn't remove the past anyway. Everyone knows you were on there.
Well,
They saved your video and everything off YouTube.
I just deleted my YouTube account because of this.
But I mean, people could still have downloaded it.
And
they could re-upload it.
And what was been happening with me has been cyberbullying has been going on, and they called me a pedophile. I'm not a pedophile.
Well, yeah, but even if you were, that wouldn't be bad or anything.
I just asked politely to delete my account because I don't want to have to be on this website.
Oh, really? Did you clarify that you're actually just a hebephile?
No, I'm not clarifying that. I'm none of those things. It's disgusting.
Not even a pubophile?
No, none of that. I created an account by accident because I was curious, but now I feel how bad it is, and I just want it deleted. Is it possible if you can get it down, please?
I mean, I could rename it or something.
Yeah, go ahead, rename it, because I do not want to be involved with this.
Oh, yeah. What am I going to rename it, though?
Come up with something.
How come this one doesn't have a video for your podcast? It's just audio, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just audio. But I wanted to interview you. And ask you a few things.
Oh, yeah. Go for it.
Why did you create this website?
Let's see. Originally, it was called Near Cells, so it was a place for people who have trouble getting laid, but they might possibly have it happen at some point, because things are very polarized. They were like, okay, you're either an incel or you're a normie. And I was like, well, there's a lot of people in between, and a lot of people on like incels.co are kind of in between. So I was like, I see a niche here. So I created that, and then after a while, I was like, I noticed that these folks here who are anti-rape and anti-pedo, they cause a lot of problems because they're not real anti-feminists. They're not really for patriarchy all that much. Because if you have those viewpoints where you think things like consent matter, then you basically have given in everything to the feminists at that point. So I we need to have patriarchy because that's how you have like strong families and stuff. You can have a stable family unit. And, in order for that to happen, then the marital contract, that has to continue. People can't back out of it and say, okay, I don't consent to it anymore. If you want to raise kids, you have to, like over 20 years, you got to have something in place that's going to last. So, it needs to be that arrangement where like the husband provides for his wife, the wife provides sex, and, they don't back out of it. So, and then, I realized consent doesn't matter either because, like women's perception of being raped pretty much depends on whether they think the relationship is going well. If they decide that it went south, then they're reinterpreted as rape anyway. So, such and such. So anyway, then I took it in the rapey direction, and then I was like, well, now that we have these girls showing up, maybe we can get some relationships together, people who are like-minded, who believe in like male dominance, female submission, and who don't believe in people have to be 18 to get married or like to have a relationship. We can match these people up who have similar compatibilities, and we could just share our like rapey ideas, fantasies, plans, wishes, things of that nature. They could share their nudes and stuff. That's that can be part of sometimes. That can be like a jailbait pill. That shows. People see younger people naked and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, these are actually hot. I forgot they were hot. It's been so long since I've been in middle school or whatever. I forgot how hot girls that age were. So that's something. And, it was successful for a while. The thing that happened, though, was that the site, I think that the girls were too scared to go meet people. And, maybe some of these guys weren't all that high quality anyway. Like, there was a lot of trust issues, so I think that aspect of it ended up failing. And then a lot of these girls probably just wanted to role play also, rather than do anything seriously. So what happened there was, I think the guys got discouraged after a while after they got flaked on too many times. And then once we realized the girls had gotten the better of us, then I think some of that rapey energy kind of dissipated. Plus we got some cucks in there. They started saying, like, they just want to compliment the girls, encourage them to share pics. But some of them are like, oh yeah, I'm pedo, but I'm not rapey. I think consent matters. I just think age is just a number. I'm probably going to have a sweep and get rid of some of these guys, try to get some hardcore rapey people back in. Get rid of some of the girls who aren't going to show their nudes because it's like, well, we know we're not going to meet up, so, if you're not going to contribute nudes, then you're basically dead weight at this point. So, I'm probably going to have some reforms, try to go back hardcore. So that's it in a nutshell.
Really? That's interesting. My next question for you is your real name Nathan?
Yeah.
That confirms it. Okay. So, Mr. Nathan, let me ask you this. When you update the website, is it possible if you can add like a, delete button the settings of your account?
Well, see, if we were going to do that, the way it would be like a deactivate button. I would rather do that than a delete button because delete's irreversible. Deactivate, like I have on Facebook, it just like makes your content disappear, but it's still in the database. See, that's what Facebook did. They don't want people to actually leave. For the longest time, they resisted having a delete button. They were like, nah, just deactivate. And then, as soon as you log back in, it all comes back. I think it's better to have it reversible. See, I come from Wikipedia. I've edited Wikipedia a lot, and that's the great strength of it is everything's reversible.
But that'd be a good idea. You can have a deactivate and a delete button, or disable.
if you remember the site, you remember the site. I mean, that is what it is. I guess people might be like, oh, okay, I did some edgy stuff, It's like, well, I guess I get what they're coming from, kind of, but whatever.
You remember who I am, right?
Yeah.
Lance.
I mean, it would matter more if they were actually doing anything, but they haven't actually done anything. Like, they haven't actually met up. It was like maybe one hookup that happened off the site, and that's it. So, and I don't think that's going to result in any legal action. So, it's just kind of doesn't even matter that much.
Now let me ask you
Most
this.
people didn't reveal.
Let me ask you this. Are you running for Congress?
No, I did that a couple of years ago.
And they turned you down, right?
I withdrew.
Would you ever consider that again?
At the time, I pretty much promised myself I wasn't going to do it again. I mean, it's a lot of work. You have to gather 1,000 signatures, and I don't know if I have anything more to say that I haven't already said. I mean, I have pretty much the same views. You can run over and over on the same platform if you want, but it probably gets old after a while.
I was going to ask you something else, but I can't figure out what I was going to ask you. This is very important. This kind of puts my life in danger. I remember what I was going to tell you. Yes. You got doxxed on Doxspin. Did you know that?
Yeah, I saw that.
How do you feel about that?
It's whatever. It's too bad that so many companies had these data breaches where stuff leaked out. That could have been bad.
Well, I got doxxed too, but I paid to remove it. You know how much it costs to remove? You know how much it costs to remove that?
$130.
No, 30 Bitcoin for one time, 60 Bitcoin for blacklisted.
That's a lot of Bitcoin. How much? I didn't know you were rich like that.
Oh, sometimes you have to be rich.
Because that's like what, $300,000 or something.
I assume. I don't know.
30 Bitcoin. Alright, I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, that's 328,000 USD.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, I got scared. I got paranoid. I didn't want to be on the website anymore. And now I don't know what to do.
Oh, yeah, you got too panicked. You can't let these blackmailers get the better of you. You gotta... they don't have a lot of leverage unless you give them leverage, so you have to be careful.
Have you heard of the UTTP?
It rings a bell. Let me look that up.
The YouTube Troll Police.
Oh, yeah, I noticed you got targeted by a lot of people. I think once they saw once you showed weakness, I think they just all came after you.
They ganged up on me, and I was in Discord chat room, and they just kept calling me pedophile. I couldn't take it anymore. I think it all started when I got involved with this website.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
And they tried to expose me. They called the FBI on me.
Well, the FBI gets a lot of frivolous reports, so I think they ignore most of them.
But I'm still not safe here. What could you do on your side?
I changed her account name to something.
Can you change the email address?
I mean, that's doable, but what difference does it make, really?
You have a good point there. What if I gave you the details to the account? Can you log in it?
I mean, I can change passwords and all that kind of stuff.
Well, go right ahead. Go right ahead. I don't want to log in ever anymore.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
Change it to whatever you want so that I can never log in again. And you heard about Anonymous, right?
Oh, yeah.
Anonymous said they would leak everyone's personal information.
Yeah, I don't know how they would do that. I don't think there's a lot of weaknesses in the security.
Just let me know when you change the password, alright?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then you won't be able to get back in, though, unless you reset it.
Which I'm never gonna do, to be honest with you. And the number you just called is a throwaway number. I can delete this phone number.
Yeah, no, I heard you setting it up. But yeah, I mean, it's just a website at the end of the day.
Yeah, true.
It's not even... The publicity kind of came and went. It ran its course, basically. That's the thing. It's like we weren't able to really walk the walk. That's the thing. You know, men think that they can exist in this feminist society and be patriarchs and dominating and whatnot. You know, most of them aren't really able to walk the walk because they got a lot of stuff going against them. And like in this case, they had to actually, you know, get a girl to show up at a particular place. You know, if they're going to kidnap them or whatever, if she doesn't cooperate, then yeah, they're going to have trouble actually being all that rapey. Not all of them even own a white van, so that's a problem as well. A lot of them don't have basement dungeons set up or anything.
Like, I search your full name, but I don't want to say it because I respect your privacy. I'm going to just call you Nathan, but if I say the last name, you know, it's kind of discouraging.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I know it starts with L, but I don't want to say it.
Yeah.
But it might be the title of this podcast. I interviewed
It
you.
might be.
I interviewed you. I asked you a few questions. So, what kind of phone do you have?
It's a Samsung.
You should get iPhone. It's better.
Sort of, although Apple's gone downhill in recent years, so I don't think it's as good I don't think it's really worth all the money anymore.
What's your opinion about Apple?
Well, you know, they removed the headphone jack. Yeah, even Steve Wozniak thought that was a bad move.
Yeah, now you have to find these special headphones you have to plug in order to use it with the headphones.
Yeah, no, one might almost think it's like a scam to get you to buy extra hardware. But, you know, I guess the theory behind it was they're like, well, it uses up extra space and it's only can be used for one device. But that was kind of I guess it is kind of a bad design, isn't it? The headphone jacks as we know them, because it always seems to break and then you can only hear out of one ear. That's my experience.
So, did you change your password yet?
No.
Well, let me know when you change the password.
That's all. It just stores it as a hash anyway, like a salted hash. So it's not like your data is compromised or anything. it's like, people are always like, oh, it's going to go to the FBI. How would it go there? Like, it's sitting in a server room in another country in a, like, undisclosed location, so.
Or you changed the name from MCL 771 to something else, right? You changed something.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
yeah,
did?
So you might not even know where it is now.
You did?
Yeah, I changed your username.
Good, good, good. So now when I Google MCL 771, it won't come up, right?
Yeah, it won't. No, the other thing about Apple, was it, oh yeah, it seems like I keep getting logged out of the Apple store, and then it's like, I always have to reset my password. That's kind of lame also. Like every time I want to install new software, it's like, oh yeah, you have to enter your password, and then it's like, it doesn't work, and then it's like, we're trying to change it, and it's like, you already used this password before, you can't use it again.
Well, I'm gonna have to plug in because my battery's gonna die.
I just find that inconvenient because I don't see Android requiring you to, like, have an account at the Android store. They just let you download software.
I don't know, man. I mean, some people say you're a disgusting person.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Maybe I'm just more open about stuff. Like, yeah.
Well, I just dislike it, you know. If you want to,
judgment anyway, disgusting. It's like, yeah, people can be conditioned to be disgusted by different stuff. It's kind of like if you're religious, then if somebody says like the Lord's name in vain, you're like, that's terrible. But you know, if you're not religious, then you don't care. It's the same thing with like anything else. People are conditioned to be disgusted by, whether it's like incest or pedophilia or whatever. It's just it may not even be something inherent. You know, maybe society just told them it was bad, and so you know they've had to program themselves to be disgusted by it.
it's just like one of those things that I don't like. If you're gonna do it, don't do it openly in public. Like, just keep it down low and not say anything about it, and do it in your privacy.
Yeah, I mean that's what you have to like. That's how you get in touch with like your nature, though. Like if you're reading erotica, you're looking at pictures, you discover what turns you on, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is my nature. You know, otherwise you might not have known. So like if people keep everything secret, then you may never discover what potentials you have, and then it's like you don't really know yourself completely.
Let me ask you this. This is very important. Do little kids turn you on?
I mean, sometimes, like if they're sucking a dick or something and they're doing a really good job of it, I mean, I can get turned on by that.
Huh, interesting. Do you believe that anybody can have sex no matter the age?
What you say can?
This is
You
serious.
mean like morally, or what are you talking about here?
I'm talking about generally. In general.
I mean, I believe in men being in charge, so like if we want to use little goats that way, like if that's our property, then we can just go ahead and do it. I mean, because that's why they exist. Like women are mostly just here for our pleasure. I mean, they're like we men are the ones who built civilization, so women are just here to like have our kids, to give us sexual pleasure and stuff, like and assist us in various ways. But if you destroy your property, then now you don't have it anymore. So that's the downside of if you make a bad decision.
What do you mean by destroying?
Well, I don't know. Like people will say, if people say, oh, if you have sex with kids, you damage them. If that's true, then, and then you say, you have a daughter or something, and then you damage her, then, you have to deal with the consequences of that, because now you have this daughter who's damaged. So, it could have...
So, anyways, what do you mean by damaged? You mean by murdering?
It could be that. It could be whatever you do to her. Same thing with, a wife or whatever, if we have, say, some kind of free market where you have to purchase women, then you're losing your investment if you damage her. Or say you have a daughter, you invest in feeding her and everything like that, and then if you damage her, then now you have damaged property around. So that's the downside if you make bad decisions. Now, if you have a free market there where you let people make whatever decisions they want, then people learn the hard way sometimes, and then we actually learn more about the truth as opposed to just accepting stuff on faith. If they say, okay, doing certain stuff with kids harms them, then that's just something scientists are saying. We may not know anyone who, or a lot of times people will give testimonies for biased reasons, they'll say, oh yeah, my dad did this to me and it had this effect, but then we don't hear the stories where it had some other effect because that's not politically correct, or there was research but they put it in a file cabinet and didn't publish it because they don't want to end up like Bruce Ryan's, where he publishes a report saying it's not always that harmful, and then he gets criticized by Congress. They condemn this report. So it's better just let individual families experiment, and let people find out for themselves sometimes. Just like, with the coronavirus or whatever, with the coronavirus, we've learned that we can't trust our government to manage our health affairs and tell us the truth about what's harmful and what's not. They've gone way overboard with it. And so if they would go overboard with that, why wouldn't they do the same? They did the same thing with pot. They're like, oh yeah, pot kills brain cells. That turns out to be false. So if we can't believe them about that, why would we believe what they say about pedophilia or, sex with kids? It's all suspect at that point because their credibility is shot.
Well, I'm kind of disturbed by this. I mean, I don't know who I can trust when it comes down to this.
Yeah, well, at that point, I just rely on my own instincts. I'm like, well, I'm a creature that has evolved through millennia of evolution, and so if I've evolved to be attracted to something, maybe it's not that bad. Because if it were that bad, maybe it would have been selected against. It wouldn't have been an evolutionarily stable strategy. But if I've evolved this way, then maybe I was meant to be that way.
I don't know.
I give it the benefit of the doubt. Because, the scientists, they can have a conflict of interest, and the scientists are funded by the government. The government is always trying to control us for their own purposes. Those don't always line up with ours. It's all different political factions, trying to get power, trying to use science as a way. Why is the coronavirus thing? Why is that a big deal? They want to hurt Trump. And then Trump was weak enough, he just went along with it.
Like, for me, I don't know about this thing.
Why do they want to destroy fatherly authority? Why do they want to make men not have any power anymore and, have women control stuff? It's because they want to weaken the family, then the government can control more stuff. Because, if the family is a source of culture, people have these bonds that are independent of the government, and the government can't control stuff this much.
I'm sorry, I'm a quiet man. I just think about stuff to say sometimes.
this stuff, so let's just give it to them. And then it just kept going on from there. You know, once you start surrendering, and you just keep surrendering more, and then they want more, and then they see the stuff that we got still not making us happy. So let's just blame that on them also. And then it gets to a point where, you know, we can't really do any right. Like, no matter what we do, they say that we're rapists. So.
Knowing me.
And then society falls apart because we're not even, the fertility rate's so low. People aren't even producing a lot of kids anymore. So this isn't sustainable.
Knowing me, I'm going to say this. I'm against all of this. I'm not a rapist, and I never was.
Okay. Well, I mean, so I would ask, okay, let's say there's like a married couple, and they want to raise kids, right? So let's say that the wife stops wanting to have sex, like she's just like, nah, and then they end up like with a sexless marriage. You know, how are they going to keep their family together given that the man still needs sex? You know, if he's not allowed to rape her.
What, say that again?
Okay, say there's like a sexless marriage, right?
Right.
And they have young kids. So how's the husband going to deal with this inner conflict where he's like, okay, I want sex, but on the other hand, I want to stay with this woman, and she's not having sex with me, and but I need to stay with her for the sake of the kids. So what's he supposed to do? Like, if he can't rape her, then what is he supposed to do about the situation? You know, you see this on, like, Reddit, like Dead Bedroom subreddit, and you know, they even say on the sidebar, they say, no suggesting rape as a solution. That's probably because everyone would say, well, just rape her. And, you know, maybe a lot of those wives kind of want that anyway. They would rather just start taking charge.
That would be the wrong idea. I'd get a lawyer, a divorce lawyer.
Well, yeah, but then they split up, you know, then they're not getting to raise the kids together, so that might be in their benefit.
But then that's devastating to the kid's life. They don't have a parent to live with.
Yeah, so it's a bad situation, but it's probably better if he just goes ahead and rapes her, and then the family stays together, he gets sex. You know, he's still providing for her, and everyone's happy pretty much.
I guess some people ask a question when they talk to you. What the fuck is wrong with you? Maybe that's what they ask when they talk to you when you say this stuff.
I just try to think logically about things, and I don't let the political correctness get in the way because I don't really have a lot to lose.
I mean,
but
going
there.
I mean,
it's not fun. Yeah.
I mean, going there and putting myself on the website, that could literally put me in danger. I'm happy I had this conversation with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you can tell the way things are now, it's not sustainable. You know, the fertility rate being so low. So that's always something I would ask. But then feminists will be like, well, we'll just subsidize having more kids, although that doesn't work either. Yeah, you pretty much just need to make women property. That's what it all comes down to. Otherwise, we're going to die out as a species.
You know, another good thing is that you don't need women. You can just masturbate. If you feel the need to.
That's okay, like, when you're alone. But if you're, like, in a relationship and you have, like, your wife there who's supposed to love you and she could have sex with you and she doesn't want to and you just have to masturbate, that's going to feel really bad.
That's the way it works.
Like shit.
For me, that's the way it works.
I mean, it's one thing if you're alone, you know, but if you actually have some woman there who's, you know, she's supposed to be having sex with you and then she just doesn't want to, I don't even see, like, if you raped her anyway, she'd probably get into it after, like, a few minutes, so it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah, I got very uncomfortable with the website. I was comfortable at first, but then I got uncomfortable. I feel very uncomfortable.
Well, that's probably because those guys were threatening to call the FBI and stuff.
Maybe it was that too, but that's considered cyberbullying. They cyberbullied me to no end.
I know. And you had a lot of good videos and you erased them.
I am done. I am done with YouTube. I'm done with Twitch. I'm done with Twitter. I'm most likely done with Rapey.
What are you going to do with the rest of your life?
I don't know. Find a way to make money.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
I mean, I get paid.
That's why I had so much trouble.
I get paid the podcast, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, like these girls on the site, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I would run away to be with you, but you need to get your own place first." So I'm like, "Dang, gotta get money now."
I don't think it's even worth it to run away, because I wind up having a missing person report.
Well, yeah, I mean, no risk, no reward, though. I mean, those jailbaits are pretty hot.
No, I'm actually kind of disturbed by it.
I mean, they're bored, they're horny, so they want to run away. They're like, they want to get drunk and like have a man buy them dresses and stuff. So they just want to be like a grown woman. Like by the time they're 14, they're like totally tired of being with their parents. Even by like 11, they're kind of like starting to want to explore their sexuality and stuff. So
they also said this about me. This guy watches child porn. I do not watch child porn.
Oh yeah, I don't think there was any on there.
Are you sure about that? I asked the question, are you sure about it? Are you sure about that?
Well, I don't think you saw any child porn.
No, never in my life, and I never will.
Okay. Well, I guess you made your statement then.
Yes, I make myself clear. And one time I went into a Discord voice chat with them, and they were ganging up on me. I should have kept the recording to play it back for you, but sadly, I deleted it.
Yeah, you can't let them manipulate you. You have to kind of think through things logically because they don't really have a lot of leverage unless you tell them stuff that gives them leverage.
Like, what am I supposed to tell them? I know I can't go back there.
You can just hang up on them. You can tell them they're losers, and yeah.
I mean, it could work, but they don't back down. They already have my real address, my location, where I live. They know everything about me.
Oh, well, what are they going to do? I mean, it kind of depends on how you're trying to make money and stuff, but yeah, it shouldn't be a huge thing. If you're trying to, make money through normie channels, that may not even exist in the future. Society maybe is going to collapse. We don't even know.
How about this debate? Is the Earth round or flat?
I think it's round.
Some people say it's flat, some people say it's round. I honestly don't know.
Well, I guess go out into space and look at it.
And maybe look round when we go up into space.
might be an illusion?
Possibly. You know, I could go like for 3 hours on Podbean. If you never heard of Podbean, it's my favorite podcasting app to do live recordings.
Uh-huh.
Are you familiar with Podbean? It's on Android as well.
Podbean.
Podbean. Podbean.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to say this too.
By the way...
Yes?
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, with child porn, a lot of stuff is kind of subjective anyway, because, like, two people can look at one picture, and it can be kind of ambiguous sometimes, because it's like, okay, let's say it's some kid, like, spreading their legs or something. That could be, or it might not be. You know, it really depends. Maybe they're just doing gymnastics. Maybe they're trying to be sexy. You know, so in that sense, is there any definitive answer to whether we've seen it? Because it really is a matter of opinion.
Yeah, for me it's just disgusting, disturbing. I never really seen anything. Because I don't care about it. Anyways, I was going to tell you this. I'm autistic. And I'm 28.
I thought you were younger. Okay. I thought you were like 21 or something.
No, 28. And I'm an autistic person, in case you didn't know. What's your opinion about that?
Oh, yeah. Well, I just feel like it's just a label they put on people. I mean, I've been... like, they used to just call them nerds. Now they call them autists. Like, if you're socially awkward and you're into obscure stuff, now they call you autistic. But it's just another... They've turned it into a clinical thing, whereas before it was just like a social construct.
Or when it used to be...
being a nerd was not considered a clinical thing back in the day.
Or, yeah, it used to be retardation or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, nowadays, like Stephen Urkel, they'd probably say he's autistic or something, you know, whereas before they were just like, well, he's a geek or something.
I know you've been asked this question, but are you autistic?
I mean, I might be, but it's, like I say, it's just a label. It wasn't until lately that I actually got diagnosed with that.
At what age?
I've been evaluated many times.
At what age were you diagnosed with it?
So, I'm thinking that would have been in 2016, so would have been like 35.
And you think you're autistic now?
I mean, people call me that a lot, but it's just another word. It's kind of like neurotic was a word people threw around a lot. You know, that was an official psychiatric word. Now you never hear it anymore, really. Very rarely. So, autistic, you know, 20 years from now, people may not be talking about that anymore. They may have some new word for it. So, you know, it used to be back in the day, autistic was something, you had to have a really severe case of it before they would call you that. Like, you had to be basically not even able to say a complete sentence or something, and they'd be like, yeah, that's autism, like a severe case of it. You know, now they're really high-functioning people they call autistic. So, yeah, I mean, psychiatry, that's just driven by trends, you know.
Do you see
different theories they come up with.
Do you see a therapist?
Huh?
Do you see a therapist?
Nah, I always found it did more harm than good, because it's a pain in the neck to go over there to talk to them, and then they usually just have a lot of judgmental stuff to say. And it's like, they haven't even been in my shoes, so how do they know? they don't know what it's like to be me. So how can they really give advice? Their lives are screwed up to the point where they couldn't think of anything else to do but become a shrink. So, how can they tell anyone else how to live their life?
Well, maybe I could become your therapist, but I don't know how to do a therapist's job. That's my problem.
Well, yeah, even you're kind of judgmental. You're like saying stuff that's disgusting. I mean, that's just an aesthetic or moral judgment, and anyone can say anything's disgusting. That's just like some people don't like anchovies on their pizza. They say that's disgusting.
And I think child porn is disgusting.
What do you think about black licorice? Is that good or bad?
I don't like licorice.
Yeah, see, I love black licorice. So it's just a different taste. Yeah, did you ever see that movie Spartacus?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, like the original one, there's this scene where they're talking about snails, and they're like saying, it's just a matter of taste, whether you like it or not.
You have to have a required taste for that.
Yeah, I don't even like it actually. But he was talking to like his slave boy, and he was using it as a metaphor for what he wanted to do with them.
So, are you liking this interview?
It's okay. Yeah.
I didn't go too hard on you, I hope.
Not really. You kind of repeat the same talking points, so you're like, it's disgusting, or what's the other word you use? Disturbing.
Yeah, because I know right from wrong. I know it's wrong.
Oh, okay. What's your morality based on?
My morality, I haven't really thought of that.
Oh. So, like, how do you decide whether one thing is bad and another thing's good? Like, how do you judge it if it's kind of ambiguous?
This is where it gets tough, You have to think about these things. I know it's wrong in the sense that if I have kids, I'd never do anything wrong to them, I just treat them nicely and friendly, but never how you would say it. If you get what I'm saying.
I guess. I mean, after you've been screwed over enough times in life, I think morality can kind of slip away a little bit because you realize, okay, even if I'm nice to women, they still might be pretty bad to me. So then it's like, who cares anymore?
I just want all this to die down and wait a year for it to stop.
Did you go to school, by the way? Like, did you, go to college?
I never went to college, but I graduated high school.
So, do you do any trade or anything? I don't know if you want to say, but... Oh, you just do podcasts?
I'm doing podcasts and I make music, but that's a different story. And I'm currently in a day program. Where I get a day program where I get a $12 check. It's not much.
What kind of thing is that?
Oh, it's like something where they find a job for you, but it takes a long time.
Oh, yeah, they probably take a lot of the money.
I believe it.
If it's like temping or something, yeah, they probably take a big cut of it.
Oh, since I mentioned that I did music, might as well tell you the name to search on YouTube. It's MCL Rapper with no space. And it will be the very first thing.
Yeah, okay. Wait.
MCL Rapper.
Does this have something to do with Project Jorgo, too?
Yes, that's exactly, you found it. So you can subscribe to that, but you probably won't get any new music because my releases on Amuse have been failing. That's pretty much the last of it. You know, I'm done for. I'm fucked.
Well, this stuff happens. You just move on to something else. I'm gonna try to start a tech company. Become like a tech billionaire or something if I can.
What are you gonna name it?
I should probably secure the domain before I disclose it.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. But I don't know anything about running domains and stuff.
Actually, it doesn't matter because even if I disclose it, there's so many, I may not be able to go with .com anyway because my domains get taken away from me a lot. So it's like, if you want to have anything edgy, you have to go for some really obscure domain. That's why we were at, .co, .cc, .to.
Well, I do have a website I run myself. Now, this isn't a disgusting website. It is a website that's called Lance is Not a Pedophile.
Okay.
And the tag, the link is LANCEISNOTAPEDO.TINKEE. No, not EE. It's .TINKERRIO.
Okay.
Did you get that?
No.
You received text message?
Yeah, you can send it that way. That works.
Okay, well, I have a second phone number. You have so many phone numbers, I know. So you're in the call right now, but I just send it. Your phone multitask, right?
What?
Your phone can multitask?
Yeah, it's a smartphone.
Oh, exactly. So I'll just send it on my second phone number. Did you get it?
It says I have something, yeah. Hang on. Oh, yeah, that's a complicated domain there. Hang on. Game of Lamps?
Yes.
Yeah. My side of the story, dang. I mean, you might as well just take responsibility, though, when you could decide not to do it, so. And then you put it on YouTube, so. Also, on your About tab, your embedded YouTube vid is no longer there.
Yeah, I deleted all my posts on the profile. Because they deleted the videos, I deleted the podcast on the Anchor website.
Yeah, I mean, you probably should have just embraced your new identity as villain. I mean, it's what I've done. It gives you more relevance anyway. Like, what's the downside? They're not actually going to arrest you or anything.
Hello, Scene. Welcome to this interview. get people in the Podbean app listen to us talk. So if you have anything interesting to say, you can go right ahead and bring it up.
Okay. I mean, it's your interview then.
Now there's a lot of stuff I wanted to ask you about the website. What motivated you to make this?
Well, like I was saying, it kind of evolves over time. But yeah, like I've had an interest in having a rape website for a while, like a rape forum. Ever since I got involved in the incel sphere, I was like, well, this sounds like the natural solution to their problem. Just make women property and then rape them. I mean, then you don't have to worry about being involuntarily celibate anymore. All you have to do is earn enough money to buy one, and then you're set. So I was trying to be solution oriented rather than just have this attitude they have of boys wanting to just complain all day. And anyway, how do they go back to a system like that?
You said insults? What kind of insults?
Like incel, like INC.
Oh, incel.
Yeah.
I thought someone said would insult you, so you decided to open up a website because you were being insulted.
Oh yeah, they did kind of insult me. Well, they called me like fake cell and all that. I guess their standards have risen over time. Like you have to be more incel to be part of that community than in the past, or otherwise they say that you're fake cell. Even though half their community is, people who've had relationships and stuff. Basically, it's just incel community is misogynists who pretend like they've never had sex.
Or you threatened the president. I heard about that one.
Uh-huh.
That's a big no-no.
At the time, I believed a lot in civil disobedience, like that you should break the law, that you should stand up against a tyrannical government, you should go to jail to try to make a point, for a principle. Yeah, instead of cooperating with the system, you should go ahead and fight against it, at least make like a symbolic gesture. But I guess they want to discourage people from doing that because they punish them pretty harshly.
Have you ever been to jail, Nathan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good place to be, isn't it?
It's pretty miserable.
They give you jail food, and the jail food sucks.
And it depends. Once you go to the real prison, it's not too bad. It's probably pretty bad right now because all the prisons, they've shut them down, they've locked them down, like so they probably don't have like the prisoners working in the kitchen anymore, so the food is probably pretty terrible because it's probably just the bare minimum, like cheese sandwiches and stuff. Ever since COVID and then Black Lives Matter, they've locked everything down. They got all that stuff on high security these days.
I'm actually pretty scared myself because I don't want to go to prison.
Yeah, it's probably worse now than it would be under normal circumstances.
Were you scared? Were you scared when you're at prison?
Not very often. Like occasionally I'd get threatened and that would be kind of scary, but then people would be like, well, they're not going to do anything anyway, so. Because, where I was at, I spent 2 years at a place that was mostly for sex offenders and snitches and stuff, and it was also some local people, and that was in Petersburg, and I'm not sure why I was sent there. It could have been because I was local, or it could have been because I had, a harassment charge on my record that they considered a sex offense, so.
Was it like
a? Want to get shipped out of there.
Was it like a rehabilitation?
under treatment there, but I didn't participate in that. Because, I guess, I can't remember if they even offered it to me, but my federal offense was not a sex offense, so I think they weren't real focused on trying to get me into that. But yeah, the thing about that place was people didn't want to get shipped out of it because they couldn't really walk any other yard. If they snitched on their gang or whatever, or they're pedophiles, then if they go to another prison because they misbehaved there, they might not be able to survive there. Or, they might not be able to move around freely. They might have to go into protective custody. And even then, they might get beat up.
It depends on what you do there. If you do something wrong or say something wrong thing, I mean, you're most likely going to get beaten up.
Well, it depends on where you go. Because you go to certain places, they might ask you for your paperwork, or they might find out some other way, and then you might have a problem.
Like, my problem with me, back in 2014, I put something on my Twitter that I shouldn't have put, and I was taken away to the mental hospital.
Oh, yeah, well, they'll do that. I mean, yeah. It depends, too, when they come to talk to you, and then they're like, hey, what'd you put there? And then they ask you questions in person, and depending on what you say, that might affect whether you go there.
And they hauled me straight off, and, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had that happen just this past January. I was there for about a month.
I was in there for 7 days. Did you like it there?
Yeah, they'll do that.
Did you like it there?
Oh, in the hospital?
Yeah.
It got kind of old, and I noticed things have really changed. Like, there's a lot more degeneracy you see now. I don't remember seeing, like, there was a certain amount, but I think it's just gotten way out of hand. I even see that on the site. I think girls are a lot more degenerate than they used to be. But maybe they're just more open about it. Like, I mean, the sluttiness has really gotten out of hand.
Have you ever been swatted? Like a group of cops come at your doorstep.
Yeah, they threaten that.
You've been threatened by that.
Yeah, I mean, someone just like yesterday was like, we're going to SWAT you.
Would they actually do it? We don't know.
Might try.
We don't know if they'd actually do that, though. Because that's what I got worried about when I got doxxed. I was worried that would get swatted. Me too.
Well, actually, I mean, the SWAT team has been here twice. So, like those times that they got me for supervised release violations, like both times they sent the SWAT team, basically. Federal, like, joint task force.
And they told you to put your hands up or something? What did they tell you to do?
So it's like they bust in the door, and then one thing, I'm like in my bed asleep, and the first thing I see is they've got that gun they're pointing, and it's got one of those tactical flashlights where it's got all the different colors, and it's making all these different sounds to disorient you. And then they're like, police, and next thing you know, they're grabbing you.
And they're like violent.
I mean, I don't know about violent, but they are pointing a gun at you. Yeah, both times they did that.
That's what's scary.
The other time I was actually awake.
That's what's scary.
I was like at my computer. What?
That's what's scary about that. You never know when they're gonna shoot.
Yeah, I mean, and they always come at like 5 a.m. So like the other time I was actually awake. I was like at the computer. I had my back turned to the door. And then like suddenly the door opened. I thought it was like my mom, but no, it was them.
You still live with your parents?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Me too.
So they're like 3 feet away or 5
So they had a sniper.
I mean, he had a rifle with a scope. I know that much. And then they had these other guys in the yard carrying shields. So it was like multi-layer attack.
Are you scared about that? Are you afraid? Are you worried you'd get swatted again?
I mean, I think if you get swatted, you just have to make sure you don't point a gun at them, and hopefully you don't have any dogs. And we don't have any dogs, so they can't shoot my dog. I mean, I don't think they're going to shoot my cat, so I'll probably be okay.
And you have to follow their directions.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard. They're not really supposed to shoot you. Like, if you're unarmed and you know, you just have to make sure you're not like that, what's that guy's name? Shaver? Yeah, Daniel Shaver. You know, that he was in the hotel and he reached for his waistband and they shot him because they were like, we told you not to do that. I don't know if you saw that video before.
No, I haven't seen any videos. My only favorite videos of all time are when you type in Project Zorkel on YouTube.
Yeah. This is a pretty long podcast, isn't it?
Yes, this app can go up to 3 hours. But I think I'm going to stop around 2 hours. So you have given me some information, just enough. Do you want to stop now? We can stop now if you want this.
I just didn't know if there was anything more to say, really.
Or you're all out of stuff to say?
I'll probably think of something afterward.
Oh, take your time.
So is that all they said you had was autism? They didn't say, like, depression or ADHD, personality disorder?
Well, I lied about depression, but I still have to take medication.
Oh, yeah. Which one is that?
Mylar.
I haven't even heard of that one.
Yeah, I have to take that every night now because of that, what I did in 2014. I have regrets for.
How do you even spell that?
Oh, we could ask Siri. What is Vylar?
Oh, Vylar?
Yeah, Vylar. Not that kind. She got it wrong. Vylar medication. Vylar, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of this. They've got a lot of new ones. Antipsychotic. Oh, okay. Bipolar.
I'm not even diagnosed with bipolar. Bipolar is like when you get angry, sad, or happy, or you switch moods automatically.
Yeah. See, I don't have the manic ones, so that's why I don't think I've gotten diagnosed with that. Because somebody's trying to use an excuse now. They say, what if we're unable to take pictures? Like, my phone's camera is busted and my computer doesn't have a webcam. It's a likely story.
No, I'm gonna have to end it. I'm gonna have to end it short.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here. Okay, I come back. It's been nice interviewing you. I'll talk to you later, I guess.
Catch you later.
You don't mind if I use your full name in the podcast title?
It's fine.
Alright, bye. That guy's is Nathan Larson. I mean, a decent podcast for anybody who listened to it. So, yeah. Is it disturbing? I know I can't keep saying that. It was alright. I mean, what's the middle name? Oh, I'm not putting that. I don't plan on putting that. That's the first, last name. You know, it's pretty much the end.
Okay, so this is the aftermath part. What I can gather from my research talking with this guy, from his point of view, he only wants to label women as property, which is wrong and disturbing. And from some point, I realized how bad the situation is after talking with him and asking why he created the website. And he gave me a pretty good reason. Because he wanted a safe haven for others and himself. And I managed to get my username changed so people can't track me or trace me on the website. When it was MCL771, but it's not anymore. So I managed to get that changed. At this point, I don't know what else to say. I am pretty disgusted. It was an interesting conversation, yet though I abide by it all. I do have remorse for signing up and regret signing up, and I feel bad for it. As many times as I asked to get my account deleted, he refused. But as you can see there, that was the conversation. Do I regret getting a call? No, I don't. I wanted to make this episode clear as possible as day is light. Just to understand his point of views. And he had a good, strong point. But, does this last forever? No, it won't last forever. Eventually, the FBI are going to come. Eventually, Anonymous is going to dox everybody. Eventually, they're going to get the site shut down. They just have to keep working hard at it. Am I on anybody's side? I'm not on anybody's side. I'm a vigilante. That's what I am. You can call me the vigilante type person. This has been the aftermath. Will I ever talk to him again? I doubt it. Okay, welcome back to part 2 of the Nathan Larson interview.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good.
That's good to hear. Anything interesting happened since the last time we talked?
No, not really. Except they got 400 plays the last interview. 400.
That's unusual.
That's amazing. That's a lot.
How many did your videos get? You know, the ones that you took down where you were going to the site and stuff?
That was getting views as well, but I can't remember.
Did you save copies of those? Like, or they still exist on your hard drive?
No, they're permanently gone, sadly.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't even send it to data recovery for like $1,000, and they'll like be in a room with a bunch of like hairnets, in a dust-free room, and then try to find it from your hard drive like that.
I did want to go out of the boundaries with this interview and ask you something really weird. Are you comfortable with it?
Probably.
Well, here I go anyways. Do you like little kids' clothing?
Like what kind?
Like boys' clothing.
Okay. Like what's the example?
Like, so something is big that you could wear it.
Oh, so you're talking about like, it's the style of little kids, but it's adult size?
Yes.
So this is kind of like what those girls do, you know, like the daddy down on little girl, except, you know, like they go into little space and they want to like play with coloring books and stuff and wear like little kids' clothes with backpacks and stuff. And, but this is boy, huh?
Yeah, like you ever walked...
I don't know.
Like you ever walked in Target...
I never really had a desire to do that.
If you like ever walked in Target and the boys' clothing and you decide to try it on the biggest size that you can find.
Yeah, the thing about that is, like, I probably could have done that, like, in my early 20s or something, or like, late teens, because then I was trying to do this whole cute thing, but now, you know, now that I'm going bald and stuff, yeah, I don't think it really fits anymore.
Like you grow bigger? You like you grow bigger and you can't even fit it anymore?
Well, you mean like leftover clothing? Yeah, I don't really have a lot of that anymore. I had like a favorite shirt that was like purple and green striped for like the longest time as a kid, and then one day I remember I grew out of it. It was tragic. It's like one of those memories I have. It's like that day when one day I looked at my bucket of Legos and was like, I don't really like playing with these anymore. It's like, you know, you grow out of things, and then that's like a whole world that's closed off now.
You know, I'd wanted to say this. You're like a Freddy Krueger.
Uh-huh.
Who comes into teenagers' dreams. That's what you remind me of.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, teenage girls like Freddy Krueger, don't they? Like, they're really into horror films.
I've seen
like
Freddy
films more than men do.
I've seen Freddy Krueger 2012. It wasn't that good of a movie.
It wasn't there was Jason versus Freddy. What about that one?
That was the best one. I wish they had a sequel to it.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I don't have the background. Like, I haven't watched the whole series. So it was kind of like, I watched Alien versus Predator, but I had never seen the Predator movies before I saw that, so I was kind of lost. Like, I'd seen Alien, so I knew what that was, but I hadn't seen Predator, so it kind of was doing it backwards. I didn't have the necessary foundation. It's like trying to study calculus and you don't know trig yet, and then you're trying to figure out, you know, what's the derivative of a cosecant, and it's just not going to end well.
I know it's sick, twisted, and demented, but do you have any intentions of fucking something?
Did you just drop the F-bomb?
Yeah, I just did. This is a rated E, rated explicit podcast.
Oh, okay. That was kind of a vague question, though. You said someone.
Yeah, could be anybody. Anybody your age.
Wait, what was the first part of the question?
Would you have intentions of fucking somebody. Anybody your age, though.
Oh, possibly. I mean, if they're kind of hot.
Ah, I see that.
But, I mean, that's pretty old for a woman, like, to be 40. Like, I mean, they probably had a lot of boyfriends. They probably have a lot of tattoos. Like, something's, like, if they're single and they're 40, something went wrong.
So, you're looking for a girlfriend at the age of 40?
You know, I'm not really looking at it hard right now. Like, I'm in, I guess you call it monk mode, or, like, just trying to make accomplishments. Actually, I can't even really say I'm in monk mode, but it's something kind of like it, because on the site, I had this experience that, had a lot of girls flake, so after a while I got demoralized, because what ends up happening is if they take it far enough before they flake, you put a lot of emotions and energy into it, and then you're like, oh, I can't tell the real ones from the fake ones, you know, like the fool's gold. You know, like mining for gold would be a lot less frustrating if there weren't fool's gold lying around, because then whenever you saw like a flash, you'd be like, I finally found the real thing. But if there's all this fool's gold, you get your hopes up, and then you get disappointed enough times, and you're like, I can't do this. You're having this emotional roller coaster going up and down, and you just get worn out, and you're like, okay, I'm not even going to search for gold anymore. I'm just going to, like, do something else. And that's kind of where I'm at. Then you're probably, your thought process is going to be, I need to develop, like, a metal detector that will only detect gold and not detect fool's gold. Or I just need to go someplace where there is no fool's gold, or I don't know. I'm trying to think of the best analogy here.
Let me ask you.
My basic problem is, like, I'm at a point where I don't have a lot to offer. Like, in terms, well, one thing, my logistics are screwed up. I'm on the East Coast. Like, on my rapey site, most of the female members are from, like, Michigan, Illinois, Ohio, or they're, you know, even as far as England. And it may even be that the ones that are further away are more likely to act like they're interested. But if I ever got to a point where I could actually go to England, then they'd probably find some reason to flake out, or they'd get hesitant. And my basic problem is, yeah, like, if I were like a millionaire, it'd probably be a lot easier for me, because then it's like, girls are like, ooh, I want to, like, be able to travel. I want to be able to get drunk, have, like, dresses bought for me, and so then your life is a lot easier. And then, yeah.
Let me ask.
Yeah, let me hair transplants or something. Okay, what?
Let me ask you this: does your house have a basement?
Oh yeah, you know, I don't have it outfitted yet though. Is it rape dungeons? And maybe that's where you. I don't live in my parents' basement. I'm trying to, like, figure out where you're going with that though, because it could have gone in either of those two directions.
I'm just curious. I'd like to know. Is it true? Do you have a basement?
Yeah, you want to see my screenshot of my basement? I'll send it by, like, MMS. What is it called again? Is it SMS? What do you call the thing where it's, like, multimedia? Is that MMS?
SMS,
that, like,
I think. SMS.
Oh, yeah. You know, they have, like, a Latin American version of that, SMS-13.
That I don't know about that. That's a dangerous gang. I mean, rather not talk about dangerous gangs, but I'm more worried about the rapey website. And you know, I never log in again in the rapey website.
Okay, I'm going to send you a picture of my basement, okay? You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Let me take a photo. All right, hang on. Okay, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I won't be able to see it until I hang up after we continue this.
Yeah, it is called MMS. It just said
MMS?
MMS? I guess it's like multimedia system or something.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, I'm most likely more worried about the rapey website and why I did never log in again.
Well, how are we supposed to communicate? I guess there's Discord.
Yeah, Discord's fine. And phone calls if you're really interested in these kind of things.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What do you think of when you think of DVD? What do you think that stands for?
DVD.
Yeah.
Digital video something else. I don't know what the other D stands for.
Oh, yeah. I heard it doesn't really stand for anything, like they got rid of it.
So they're just calling it DV?
What it originally stood for, yeah.
There's Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I also
Blu-ray,
forgot to mention that Discord has voice chat. So if you go into Discord and go underneath the voice chat, it'd be just like this.
Yeah, I'm not really set up for it though.
You just started it?
Well, like, I think my jack is all jacked. It's got like doesn't really work. My microphone jack, there's something wrong with it.
Oh, I guess it's time for an upgrade. iPhone 11.
Yeah, I'm upgrading my RAM tomorrow. I'm putting 16 gigabytes in there. I actually bought the wrong RAM. It had like the wrong speed. Yeah, that's something to watch out for. You buy RAM, make sure that you like take out your existing RAM stick and check the specs on it, and make sure that when you're ordering it, you're not like getting incompatible RAM, because there's like more than one spec. It's got to be like, you know, the right DDR.
Then you also have
like
to look
3.
out. You also have to look out for fake RAM.
Oh, really? What's that?
I think so. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to search that. Is there really?
Which is better? Is it better to get the blue circuit board or the green? I heard the blue's better. I think that's what I heard.
Because I was told to stay off of the rapey website.
Oh, yeah. Well, who does anyone else have the right to tell you what to do?
Is there such thing as fake RGB RAM sticks? I guess we don't.
How come, like,
I guess we don't know that. I guess
tell you what you have to be. What?
I guess we don't know that question.
Yeah. Like, how come you let people tell you, you know, what you have to be ashamed of, or you know, what places you can and can't visit? I mean, it is a free country, isn't it?
Yeah, true. I believe that. And it is my life. I mean, I could go there. I could not go there.
Yeah, people died on the battlefields, you know, to secure these freedoms. You know, why are we going to let anonymous, you know, people who don't have the courage, you know, they hide behind a mask. They haven't put their lives on the line. You know, they haven't risked going to prison for what they believe in. You know, they haven't, you know, done what Thoreau did. You know, that was the thing about Henry David Thoreau. He just violated the law openly because he's like, I have nothing to hide. You know, I'm willing to stand for my beliefs and take the punishment. And that's the same thing I did.
Oh, I got a juicy.
I'm president now, so I'm gonna
I
put
got
my name and address at the bottom.
I got a juicy question for you. What is your last? Listen. Imagine if you're on death row. What is your last meal?
Oh, that's a tough one. Huh. I mean, I want to pizza? I mean, that's a pretty simple one. You know, you're probably always going to be in the mood for a pizza. So get maybe a deep dish cream pizza from Pizza Hut and get a pitcher of Budweiser. And yeah, that's a pretty good meal right there.
I'd probably have a party tray of chicken wings. It'd take me a long time to finish eating until I get full. So I'd be alive. I'd be alive. I'd be alive for that moment until I can't finish it.
Yeah, get the wings. Get both kinds, because don't they have two different kinds? There's a spicy and barbecue, and then get both kinds of the dressing. Get both the blue cheese and the ranch, and then eat those. I forgot
to mention I'm lactose intolerant. I can't have ranch or blue cheese.
Oh yeah. And by the way, what do you think of this? Is Papa John's really better than Pizza Hut, or is it kind of overrated?
Well, it'll take me some time to think about that one.
I mean, because the only thing I can think of is that they do give you that thing of garlic, and they give you the pepper that goes with it. But I mean, that's just like a garnish, and it's not even really that important. You know, what are you gonna do?
That's just like it's just like a side thing you eat after you eat the pizza.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of too hot to really eat by itself, isn't it? I mean, it's just kind of a strange garnish to include with it, I think.
Did I send you the iTunes link to the podcast?
Probably not. I mean,
I think I did. Look through the messages. I think I did. Because you could put that. You could put that.
Kind of a scam too.
You could put that on the Rapey website, and people can subscribe to the podcast to get updates.
Yeah. I mean, isn't iTunes kind of a scam, though? Because it seems like I had this problem where, we tried to cancel. I think it's like another one of these things where it's like a trial period or something, and you can cancel, and they're supposed to cancel it, and then sometimes they don't, though. They say they're going to, and they keep charging your card. That sucks. You know, AOL did the same thing to me.
I actually had no problem canceling subscriptions that I didn't want. Like if I didn't have enough money to pay for it.
Yeah, sometimes they're just you try to cancel it, and then they're okay, here's your confirmation number, and then if you don't write it down, then later you're like, hey, I canceled it, and you kept charging me, and they're like, well, what's your cancellation number? And then if you don't have that, then they're like, yeah, I don't believe you.
What about fake tech support? Have you ever dealt with those guys?
Yeah, my mom got ripped off by them one time.
I fell for it too, and I told them I didn't have enough money to pay for it, and then they messed my computer up.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty bad. That's very predatory, you know, that's kind of a problem, because seems there's so many scams these days. I think there are actually more scams than there used to be, or maybe it's just that we hear about them more, or maybe they just have more ways of reaching us. And, you know, because what it is I think in these modern times, there's a lot of strangers we deal with. We're not really dealing with local businesses as much. Everything's mediated by the internet. I think there's just more opportunities for people from even foreign countries to try to prey upon people.
Do you want to know something? The government might be listening to us.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't even trust Tor, really. I just kind of assume that everything that we think is secure probably isn't, because, Proton Mail canceled my account. You know, they closed down one of my Proton Mail accounts because they said, oh, you've been using it for illegal activities. And I'm like, well, how did you even know? Because you must have decrypted my email or something, or somebody reported it. But if it was reported, then that could have been forged or something. So, yeah, it just, people in the alt-right were saying Proton Mail is probably just a honeypot. But then again, they say everything's a honeypot.
My next question is, how do you make those sites? I tried looking on how to do that. What services are you using?
Services?
Yes.
Well, there's like a certain procedure to follow. So it's like if you wanted to have a site, I'd be like, okay, here's the step-by-step procedure, and it would just walk you through it, and you could take notes or whatever. Or we could have a chat log, and you could just use that. And the next time you do it, you just follow the same procedure. It's like just step-by-step. You have to. It depends. A lot of people get caught up in cPanel. They're like, oh, it's got a cPanel, right? But the cPanel can make certain things easier, but there comes a point where you need the power of the command line, especially if you're dealing with certain applications. Like if you're dealing with MediaWiki, you're going to be needing to use the command line at some point, maybe. Like if you're trying to run scripts or whatever. I don't know. I don't like using stuff like FileZilla. It seems kind of clunky.
I just had a brain fart. I was thinking of a question and now I just can't think of it.
Well, you were asking about sites. You were like, how do you set up sites?
Yeah, that's what I was asking recently, but I had something and now I can't figure it out.
Dang. That sucks. Huh. Maybe you should keep pen and paper for... Yeah, but see, it's usually in place and be like, oh, I'll probably remember. And then you end up forgetting. That sucks. Probably remember it after the call, though. Then we'll have to do another one.
I remember, flashback, when I said it was disgusting. Now I'm saying it's dark and demented.
Okay.
I'm kind of like an autistic person, but then, I think of this stuff normally, and I know it's wrong, it's nasty, and I tend to repeat myself, like you said.
Well, like dark, though, anytime people, don't have a specific criticism, they're always like, oh, it's dark. It's like, what does that even mean?
Do you know what the word demented means?
Yeah. Okay, let me look it up. Suffering from dementia, driven to behave irrationally due to anger, distress, or excitement. Okay, that's it.
There's got to be more definitions to it. I mean, I'm using it in a way.
Okay, what is a demented person? An insane person or someone with a loss of mental function?
Yeah, I don't know, something like that.
Okay, let's look at Urban Dictionary.
Alrighty then.
Entirely irrational. Seems like Urban Dictionary has gotten harder to use lately. They give you the top definition, but now they switched to just having other random words, like skeezy.
The reason why I'm saying this, because I have certain people who listen to these podcasts, and since I'm doing a part 2, I think it's sick, twisted. It's just bad. I have to say these things, to make sure they're on my side. Because I don't want people switching sides or getting mad at me because I'm doing this. I'm doing this for the clout, the plays, the money.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe not for the clout, because that could be another bad thing. clout is influence or power, especially in politics or business. That's what it is. Now you know what clout is.
Yeah. I was just looking up Eminem lyrics here. Yeah, he says, I want the money, the women, the fortune, and fame. If it means I end up burning in hell, scorching in flames.
Oh yeah, I have
that's,
2 numbers. I could send you the podcast for Apple Podcasts. If you are familiar with Apple, and you probably hate Apple.
Yeah, I don't really like them too much ever since Steve Jobs left. I think we might have talked about that in the last call. I can't remember.
Since Steve Jobs died, it's a Tim Cook era.
I know.
If Steve Jobs was still alive, it would have been different.
They should have brought back Wozniak, let him run the place.
Okay, so I sent you the Apple Podcast in a text message, so you could put that on Rapey too, and people can subscribe if they have iPhone. And still include the Anchor one as well, so they can listen to it on the site. And if you took a look at my Rapey profile, you could see I deleted everything.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like I'm trying to hide my tracks. And of course, you already changed the username. I'm fine with that.
I feel like you're kind of under duress and can't speak freely. Otherwise, I could ask you some stuff.
Well, go right ahead.
But I mean, is that true that you're under duress right now and you can't speak freely?
For the website, no, not really. Kind of scared about it.
Yeah. Well, that kind of puts a crimp in our style.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, but it's just sometimes you have to understand what's wrong and what's right. But apparently we can't get you to understand that. It's just the way things are.
Okay. Well.
And it's fun talking with you. It's fun talking with you once you get to know you that you're a nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing about Papa John's. They don't serve beer there, right? Like, you can go to a Pizza Hut and you can get an actual sit-down meal and have, get a pitcher of beer. You can't really get that at Papa John's. It's just like takeout only, isn't it? It's almost like they anticipated COVID.
I don't think Papa John serves beer.
I know. Yeah, that's why I think that place is overrated. Like a real pizza parlor, you can have beer there.
What was your favorite part about this part 2 interview so far?
Talking about a pizza.
You must be hungry right now.
Yeah, we're not even within delivery range either, because we're out in the country. We've never been within pizza delivery range or ice cream truck range. That haunted my whole childhood, not having those things.
Do you like Pokemon?
Pokemon? Yeah, you can play that online.
I got Sword and Shield, and I like Eevee.
Yeah, you can meet like lots of tweens and stuff playing these kind of online games, or like it's just like a good way to have an excuse to hang out with them.
Are you Just scared of death?
Apparently. I mean, I've thought of suicide a lot of times, and then like, yeah, I've always been scared of like the method because I'm like, well, it's not a totally perfect method, and I think I reached a point where I just had fear of missing out, because it's like, well, you die, and then you run out of, you don't have any possibilities once you're dead. You're kind of like, okay, so I die, and then what? You know, there's nothing else going to come out of that.
It's kind of scary. It's a dark topic. I mean, a very dark topic, if you're with me on this.
Yeah, death. Well, apparently there's a reason for it. Apparently it's useful to keep having a new generation. Like, what's the animal that lives the longest? Let's look that up. Animal. You want to guess what it is? Okay, I looked it up. What do you think it is?
The cat?
The bowhead whale, apparently.
Oh.
Doesn't like my ad blocker. Okay.
Or VPN? Have you ever used the VPN? Virtual private, virtual private network.
Yeah, I've used that. These animals don't live very long. The cockatoo, there's one of those that's over 100 years old. There's a giant tortoise that's 187 years old. There's some kind of iguana-looking thing I don't know how to pronounce that lives more than 100 years. Yeah, bowhead whale can live for over 200. There you go. Oh, supposedly there was a Greenland shark that's 400 years old. There was a clam lived to be over 500. And they're immortal jellyfish. You know, there's some pretty old coral out there as well. I didn't know that was an animal, though.
Or sea sponges? Sea sponges?
Huh?
Sea sponges?
Yeah, that's a tongue twister. That's even worse than seashells. Yeah, so death, I mean, it's kind of a relief in a way. I mean, because otherwise, like, imagine if you had to just continue this life forever, then you would feel like there was never going to be any rest.
No, I'd hate to I'd hate to get personal, and I don't like to ask personal questions.
But I mean, people feel kind of entitled. Like, if you're dealing with some kind of villain, they feel kind of entitled to ask personal questions. I just think that's how it is. It's like these psychiatrists. You can be having a conversation, small talk, and then let's say you're like some kind of sex offender, then they're gonna start asking you all about your personal sex life. You know, like your fantasies. You know. How much you masturbate, all these kinds of things. You know, what have you done in real life? And then, like, they're not revealing anything about their sex life. Their sex life could be really deviant. They're just going to ask you about your sex life. And then it's kind of like, it's kind of like if you're in a situation, like you're with a girl, it's like you're trying to have sex with her, and you take off your clothes, and then she doesn't want to take off hers, and then you're like, oh, so now I'm just sitting here naked, and it's like you feel more exposed.
The normal...
what I would compare that to.
The normal pronunciation is women. We don't use the term girl as much anymore.
Yeah, either way. I mean, we had a whole debate about that on wiki that I had where we were like, okay, we're going to have an article about Russian girls or Russian women. And it was like debate on both sides of the issue, because it's like, well, we prefer girls, really, but if we're going to have an article about it, we might talk about how they are when they age or something, and then, you know, women could encompass more, but, like, girls sound sexier than women.
How about this question? Do you are a morning person or a night owl?
It really varies, because my sleep schedule can be kind of random. But yeah, actually, I would say I'm a morning person by nature, because I'm most productive right after I wake up. Like, if I'm going to write a bunch of, like, a long essay or, like, 5 posts in a row, it's usually right after I wake up.
Have you ever had any energy drinks?
Nah, I'm kind of scared of them. Like, it's kind of like say no to drugs. They seem like a drug to me.
Well, I've tried it before, and it kept me up.
Yeah. I'll drink some coffee. I like that cold brew coffee. For some reason, that one's okay. I guess because it's natural, but then again, I guess the stuff like ginseng, that's natural too, but
In
there's
fact,
some of these ingredients I'm kind of scared of.
In fact, I got something right here. It's a Starbucks double shot espresso. Black.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to have to crack this open. And now I'm going to regret it, because it's probably going to keep me up all night.
See, I don't like Starbucks either, because it's too sugary.
This is actually pretty good. You might want to reconsider your situation. Try Starbucks at least one time to see if you like it or not. Have you ever had it?
Yeah, I mean, you might as well drink a soda, though. It's got so much sugar.
This is actually really good. It feels like I'm drinking it for the first time, but I'm not really drinking it for the first time because I've had it before.
Now, at least with, like, the eggnog latte, that one's supposed to be sweet. You know, eggnog, that has an excuse to be sweet. But if it's just, like, a regular one of these mocha things, what do you call them, that they sell in, like, the little refrigerator they have at the checkout aisle, it's like, okay, why'd you have to load it up with that much sugar?
Yeah, too much sugar can give you diabetes.
Yeah.
Another question is, do you drink alcohol?
Sometimes.
What's your favorite brand?
Oh, like Yingling, that's okay.
I never heard of it. How like, describe the taste. How does it taste like?
I don't know. It's kind of nondescript. I don't really like real hoppy beers, though.
Vodka?
Even though they can be high alcohol.
How about vodka?
Yeah, I don't like vodka really that much either. I probably like gin better than that, but actually I think my favorite might be tequila.
Whiskey.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess rye is okay, sort of. I don't like bourbon. I don't care for it.
If you were to rank these alcohols, how would you rank them? One from the last number.
Oh, you mean the ones you just mentioned? I thought you were
Yes,
giving me
the ones that I just mentioned.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a tough one. Like, I would have to taste them sequentially and be like, okay, then decide which I like the most. But it kind of probably depends on brand a little bit also. But yeah, I'd probably put bourbon at the bottom. I think I was reading, like, bourbon was something that became popular just because
Bourbon,
market
bourbon,
for rye whiskey
bourbon,
collapsed.
bourbon and Coke.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I guess round 2 of this interview got a little bit tougher.
What do I have? I have like a whole bunch of stuff here. Wait,
It's like a
what did I do
challenge.
with my alcohol?
It's like a challenge.
I must have put away my alcohol. Oh, it's over here. Oh yeah, I couldn't drink the White Claw either. That stuff's pretty bad. I don't know why people like it so much. What do you think of it? Let's see, what do I have here? What do you like more? Do you drink tequila at all? Because there's different kinds. There's like the white tequila, I guess. And then there's the reposado, and then añejo. Do they call it blanco? I drank all of it, so I don't know.
I think there's something that's called. It starts with an A. I can't say it correctly.
Oh, rum is another one. I probably have to say rum is like my second favorite. Like white rum. I don't like dark rum.
Since we're on the topic of liquor, what's the favorite strongest? 10%?
That's not very strong, is it?
I don't think so. I mean, I have a smaller body, so if I drank it, it would get me drunk quicker.
Yeah. You can make stuff with liqueur that has a lower amount of it. So like a margarita.
Yeah, that's not too bad neither.
I don't know. I haven't really mastered making a margarita. I did make a pretty good Paloma. Then there's the Cantarito, which that you're using a lot of citrus if you're making that. Because I think it's got like a grapefruit and an orange. I think you can put like lemon or lime in there. Oh, or like grapefruit soda.
There's one brand of vodka I know. It's called Sky, S-K-Y.
Yeah. Doesn't that have like 2 Ys? Or no?
I don't remember seeing it having 2 Ys.
Yeah, it could be one of those Mandela effect things. Let's see.
The Mandela effect. Ah, yes. That's very familiar to me.
Yeah, it's got 2 Ys.
Ah. You like spicy foods?
Yeah.
How's hot?
Like, I'll probably get the hottest thing they have at the Chinese restaurant. Now you're making me hungry for that also.
I like spicy foods too.
Dang it. There's nothing to eat around here.
Your favorite bag of chips?
Yeah. Oh, probably like the kettle ones. Those are pretty good.
I prefer the Takis.
Dang it. I live nowhere near any fast food that I can get at this time of day. I would have to, like, drive a half hour.
The maximum recording time for segments is 60 minutes. Keep an eye on the clock. Oh, crap. I'm gonna have to start a new recording. Hold on for a sec.
Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get my own podcast off the ground, I had so many questions. How do I record an episode? Where do I find background music? How do I get my show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all other places people like to listen? do I find advertisers? Where do I find advertisers? To answer to every one of those questions is very simple. Anchor. Anchor is one of those one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing, and monetizing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free. Yes, you heard right. 100% free and 100% ridiculously easy to use. 1-2 sentences about how you use Anchor and what do you like about it. Well, what I like about it, it's easy. I just tap record. I'll just go away and we could talk about subjects. And then we can start making revenue from our subjects that we talk about, certain things that we like to talk about of the topic. So, if you've always wanted to start a podcast, go to anchor.fm/start, anchor.fm/start to join me and a diversity community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. I'll see you there.
Okay, now go right ahead.
It's like, yeah, I could go to the 7-Eleven and try to get something to eat, but, like, my car's been, the last time I tried to start it, it wouldn't start. I had to jump it. So I'm, like, afraid I'm going to get stranded somewhere and I won't be able to start it.
Do you have anything at the house you could eat?
Huh?
Do you have anything at your house that you could eat?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I already ate one sandwich today, though, so I'm like, that's going to be boring if I eat another one.
Yeah, it does get boring over time.
Yeah. Yeah, like, this conversation made me hungry enough. I might just go down there, though. Like, the 7-Eleven, if you get the chicken wings, like, or yeah, you wait till, the best is, like, when it's really old. It's been there for a long time because it's really nice and crunchy. Or you can get them to put it in the cooker twice. You can be like, I want that cooked twice, and then when you get it, it's, like, all shriveled up. It's almost like dried chicken at that point, and it's pretty good, especially if they have buffalo sauce.
You know what they call me? They call me the sauce man. I put sauce on everything.
Yeah, you know, they cut me off at the McDonald's because I always used to, like, get the $1 McChicken every single day.
Oh, speaking of McDonald's, did you know there's this Travis Scott meal?
No, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, that's what they have. It's basically a quarter pounder with cheese and bacon. And it comes with your soda, a medium fries, and some barbecue sauce.
Okay, that's probably expensive, though.
That's probably $6.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking, what was it?
The Travis Scott meal.
Because they're like, we can't give you any more free buffalo sauce, like, because that's only with the nuggets. You can't just get it to put on your chicken sandwich.
Listen to this. Travis Scott is partnering with McDonald's to bring you the Travis Scott meal. Try yourself what's on his tray and learn what else. I'm going to click that and I'm going to read this.
I'm just going to, like, boil some eggs. That's pretty low effort. I never learned how to fry an egg. It always turns out all messed up. That's kind of depressing, huh? Like, when you have to, like, rely on Denny's or something for your fried eggs, because...
Hey, they really don't got information about it. It just says dive into a quarter pounder with cheese stacked with Travis to go toppings, bacon and lettuce. It's a classic made ironic.
You know what was the really good McDonald's sandwich was the big extra. You remember that one?
Oh, really?
think is what it morphed into eventually, but it's the same kind of concept. Like, it was a pretty good value.
My favorite things from McDonald's are the Big Mac, the McChicken Nuggets, and the McChickens. Those are the only 3 things I eat. But then I thought about the Travis Scott meal, and I wanted to try it. I could just go up to the, I could just go up to the counter and just order the Travis Scott meal without the cheese.
Yeah. Okay, wait, I think there is one vodka drink that's okay, the Transfusion. But if you look up the Transfusion drink, I think there's a few different recipes of it. But I think the concept behind it is it's got grape juice, and that's unusual for a mixed drink because, you only find that at, like, golf courses. An average bar probably won't have grape juice.
Or the secret menus. Have you heard about secret menus? You can order something that's not on the menu.
Yeah, that does exist. Like, Subway had the feast sandwich, which was off menu. I don't know if you can still get it though.
What was on it?
Everything. Yeah, it was like a more expensive sandwich, but it has like all the different meats. Yeah, look up the feast sandwich. I always used to get that once I found out it existed.
What's your opinion about In-N-Out Burger?
I don't think I've been there.
They're the best burgers. You could get animal style, 3x3, 4x4, and it's 4 patties. And a 3x3 is basically 3 patties.
Yeah.
And they're located in California. Have you ever thought about it?
No.
So you can't come out here to try In-N-Out?
I think we have that here.
Oh.
I just haven't been there.
Like, never been there.
The West Coast, that's a long way. But actually, the flights are cheap. Like, if I wanted to fly out there, it would probably be cheap because of COVID.
But then you have to wear a mask throughout the whole trip.
Oh, well. That's just like going to a Halloween party or something.
Halloween isn't even there yet. We got a few days to go.
Yeah, I think they're probably it's gonna be a buzzkill because can you even have any parties where there's a lot of people?
Well, I have another question for you to ask. Do you think I'm a pedophile?
I don't know, but last time we talked, I was asking you about hebephilia and ephebophilia, and I think you were saying you weren't any of those, but, I mean, is there anyone who's not an ephebophile? Because how can someone not be attracted to, like, a 15 or 16-year-old girl? I mean, that's just unrealistic because she's got all the secondary sex characteristics, like her boobs and stuff are developed by that point, and she has pretty much her womanly curves, so, like, how could the male human even evolve to not be attracted to that? Because the thing is, you want to get, like, the youngest and freshest meat that's fertile. I mean, one would think for purposes of reproduction, and you probably don't want one that's already had sex with a lot of different guys, because one thing, back before we had paternity tests, you might not know if the kid you had with her was even yours, so it just makes sense. Like, you want to get with a chick who doesn't have a lot of relationship baggage, doesn't have diseases, so it just makes sense to go for the younger ones. They're probably more fertile. Yeah, the older they get, the more their fertility goes down. They don't have as many eggs anymore. They're like an empty egg carton.
My other question is, are you afraid of needles? Have you ever had blood taken before?
Yeah, I've donated blood a lot of times when I was younger. Like, they used to tell me, they're like, oh, you're CMV negative. You don't have the cytomegalovirus, which a lot of people have. So they were like, you can donate platelets, and you can, like, sit there for 2 hours and watch a movie or something. And then they, like, take your platelets out, and then they put your blood back in.
So you're not afraid of needles?
Needles, actually, I'm probably more afraid of them than I was in the past. Like, I've been stuck with them so many times that it's like, I think my veins maybe are about to collapse.
All it is just a little tiny poke. That's all it is. I don't understand why you're so scared of it.
It leaves a scar, though. Like, I probably still have marks from it. And it's like, it almost like it kind of weakens your arm. Yeah, I think I still have it. Yeah, I do have needle marks, like in that little the place where they always put the needle, like the other side of your elbow. What do you call that? What's the name for that joint of your body?
The arm?
No, it's like okay, your armpit is where like your arm meets your torso. What do you call like the part where your lower arm meets your upper arm?
Elbow.
You know, it folds like that.
Elbow?
Huh?
Elbow.
Well, yeah, that's like the hard part. What do you call the other side of it, though?
Oh, jeez, I don't even know that one.
Yeah, well, like, that's where it is. And I can see these needle marks. I can take a picture of it, you know, if you look real closely. And that's from, like, donating blood, or it's for, like, the, you know, say they were going to send me to the mental hospital or something. They're like, oh, we got to take your blood to make sure you're not on drugs or something.
So you just close your eyes so you don't see the needle? That's what you do? You close your eyes so you don't see it? What do you do?
Oh, yeah, well, like, I try to distract myself from, I just tell myself it's going to be over soon. And, you know, then you can feel it goes in you, and then it hurts real bad, and it gets more intense, and then it kind of eases away. And then half the time, they're like, oh, I didn't hit a vein. They're like, we got to do it again. And it's like, oh, geez. So, yeah.
My other question is, do you forget stuff? Because I know some people are forgetful. Do you forget stuff?
Sometimes, like, yeah, I forget stuff I needed to do or whatever. It's like, I used to work at McDonald's, and they were like, okay, you're on register number 3, and then I forget, I ring someone up on register number 4, and they're like, weren't you supposed to use that one? And I'm like, oh, yeah. Because, you know, once you've used the other register, now you've tampered with it, and now, you know, there's not accountability for who might have stolen money out of it, so...
Well,
what
what
you could redo the whole thing.
What you could do is like take a book and write down stuff, or have like a micro cassette recorder, a digital recorder, and record your thoughts. Like, for example, note to self: stop being an asshole. Like that, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, the point is to remember, so you don't forget. Like, I forget my passwords. I forget my online passwords. I end up resetting them.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Now they have this thing where it's like, okay, we're going to create a random password that's secure if you want, but then where is that going to be stored? So then you're going to end up resetting it again. Because it's only stored in your browser. So, you know, what happens if your hard drive crashes? Now you'll never have that password again.
Or it could be a data breach. One or the two.
Yeah. My eggs are done.
How you like your eggs?
Usually like
when I hear cop sirens, I get freaked out a bit. Because I don't know who they're coming for. They might be coming for me.
And they probably hang out at the Denny's, too. Like, when they work the late nights.
Are you scared? Are you scared about cops?
I mean, sometimes, like, if there's a knock at the door, I'm always like, who's that? And like, because so many times it's been the cops, and then they're like, they have a search warrant, or they're like, want to talk to me. They're like, hey, we heard some bad stuff about you, and we're wondering if you could come down to the station with us. We'll give you a free ride down there, and you can give your side of the story. And I'm like, it's okay.
Oh yeah, I know that. They take you in for questioning.
Well, yeah, and then like, yeah. I was like, well, I don't think that would be in my interest, because if they're taking me in their cop car anyway, they're like giving me a free ride. That means I'm stranded there.
And it's not even a comfortable ride. They don't even have cushions.
Well, no, they'll probably make you comfortable. Like if it's detectives talking to you, and they're gonna take you for a ride, they're probably gonna small talk with you, and they're gonna buddy up with you and try to make you feel comfortable, so that they can segue from that into talking about the stuff they want you to incriminate yourself about.
Then, make you feel like so you're trying to say to make you feel like a criminal, right?
Well, I mean, like, I don't think they start out that way, though. I think the way they start out is they're like, we just want to hear your side. This is just for our file, so we can close your file and not have this investigation going anymore. And then they're like, it's just a formality. We just need a statement from you. And then they take you to the cop station. The only reason they would do that is so they can record you. Because they can't really record you as well at your home. They can try. They'll bring a portable recorder, but it's a lot more official at the cop station. Plus, I think it just lends itself better to, like, an extended questioning. Because if they're in your house, you can kick them out more easily. If you're over there, then, you're on their turf. You're at a disadvantage.
I mean, I've been having this kind of problem since Give Joe called me a pedophile. And Give Joe, I don't know who Give Joe is. I did a spin verified search on Give Joe's email and nothing popped up.
Hey, I don't think you answered my question anyway.
What was
like
it?
When I was like, some underage girls, like 14 or 15, are they kind of hot?
I don't even feel comfortable about answering those kind of questions. If I had an answer, it'd be some kind of answer that I'd come up with, like, say, no, I don't think that's hot or anything.
Well, lies make baby Jesus cry.
Why does what?
I said lies make baby Jesus cry. That's from The Simpsons.
Oh, I've seen The Simpsons, but I haven't seen that. I don't remember that episode.
I have to send you the clip. Because, like, that was a scene where Ned Flanders told Homer that he was busy and couldn't do anything with them because Homer was trying to be his friend and Flanders wanted to get rid of him because he was tired of hanging out with them. And his kids were like, that's not true. And that was when he said, sometimes you have to tell people things that aren't quite true.
Well, my parents are having an argument again.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Because that's money I'm transferring from you to take with me.
Yeah, you were right.
Tell me.
After all, I'll never have any more money.
It is about money. There's only so many things an argument can be about, really.
Because he keeps spending. He keeps spending it.
Yeah. It's a big issue. I mean, what else could there be? It's either money or sex, basically, or just control. Like, you know, who's going to be in charge, who's going to, like, decide some petty little issue.
Right. Lord, I'd have to ask myself this. Do I feel like a pedophile talking to you? No, not exactly. But I do feel like sometimes I interrogate you a little bit. You don't feel
like one way.
you don't feel
It's kind of one way though.
You don't feel interrogated?
One-sided, though.
You don't feel interrogated?
What? I mean, sort of. But see, that's the nature of an interrogation, though, is it tends to be one way. Because it's not a dialogue at that point. Because, like, say, you could be like, oh, are you a pedophile? Well, that's kind of what I was told to say in person was, if a black dude walks up to you and is like, hey, you racist? You know, you just throw it back at him and be like, are you? Instead of trying to answer it, because they're just trying to mind fuck you by, like, saying, making you feel uncomfortable. Well, that just it's like, well, what about the person asking the question? I mean, have they ever had those attractions? And, you know, they can deny it, but that just means they're a liar. I mean, a lot of times. And that doesn't make them any better, just because they lie to fit into society.
What's your phone at?
Scarface restaurant scene.
What's your phone at?
Huh?
What percentage is your battery right now?
It's 14%. It's doing pretty good, actually. We've only used up about a third of what it was when we started. It's probably going to start conserving it more as it gets down.
You have a battery saver, right? You know, you turn that on, that kind of saves it a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. But, yeah. Thing is, okay, these are, like, loaded questions, because it's like, oh, do you consider yourself a pedophile? Well, a pedophile is someone who has, recurrent desires or fantasies about children. So anyone can be like, oh, yeah, I don't think I am, because it's not recurrent. Well, like, where do you draw the line? Like, how recurrent does it need to be? But if you had, like, the desire one time, then you might be, or twice, let's say it's twice. You know, does twice count as recurrent? Or is that, like, an isolated instance? Well, what if it's 5 times? What if it's 10? Where do you really say it's a recurrent thing? Yeah.
I don't seem to fantasize about that at all.
Okay. That was another thing I was thinking about was, what if, though, you saw a video of it and, you know, like, say you saw child porn or something, you know, and then you were hooked up with one of those plebsman graphs. Or they do another test, the Abel or whatever. Yeah, I guess it's Abel, because it's, like, spelled like Cain and Abel. But with that one, they show you a bunch of pictures, and some of those pictures have young kids, and they test you. They say, okay, you push the button to move on to the next picture, and they test to see how long you linger on each picture, and if you linger on a bunch of pictures of kids, they're like, oh, you must like kids. So, yeah, like, if you haven't been put to the test, you know, how would you even know? Like, you know, your body is going to kind of, if you let your mind roam where it wants to, then your body might kind of tell you what you are, or, like, what you're capable of being attracted to. That's why I think they ban that stuff. That's why I think one of the reasons child porn is illegal is because if people saw it and responded physically to it, then they might realize, oh, it so people can't see it. Because once you've like watched it and then you got hard or whatever, then you're always gonna remember that and be like, okay, yeah, I got aroused by a kid. And then pedophiles don't seem so different at that point. Still there.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just listening in.
Yeah. But who knows what other things are like that? Although I guess I've seen there's a lot of strange porn out there, and most of it doesn't really arouse me. You know, what kind of primes it for it is if you read like some kind of
How about
erotica.
how about cartoon porn?
I don't think I've ever gotten aroused by cartoon porn before. I've watched like a lot of anime, hentai.
This sounds like my mom's not having it.
Uh-huh.
All because he started this hobby.
Is what?
A hobby. No, collecting toy tops that you spin.
Mm-hmm. This argument is just going to have to be settled with violence. It's the only way.
Say that again?
Like these arguments between husband and wife, like there's usually not really an objectively more reasonable answer. Like it's just a matter of opinion. You know, like say spending money, like what's fair, what's unfair. That's just a matter of opinion. So it's like in the end, you just have to settle with violence. Because I mean, at least violence is objective. You can be like, okay, I'm stronger than you, so that's an objective fact.
Well, this has been nice, and I took a long time doing this.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if I had other questions. Oh yeah, I did have another question.
Yeah, sure, go right ahead.
I'm going to have to pull up my thread here. So I read a thread, and I was like, this is stuff I want to ask him. And I think most of it I already asked. Oh, dang. No, we should have done, I should have advertised that I was going to be on this so they could have listened in live and they could have commented and stuff. If we do this again, we should do it that way.
Yeah, it probably would work.
But then I could maybe like ask questions on their behalf. Or I could just, read it off. Let's see. Yeah, so my question is, what do you think of what Anthony Ludovici wrote in the Choice of a Mate, Chapter 3, Section 2? And he says, but the question is, what is a girl to do between 15 and 25? More serious question is, what happens to the waning girl's body in these momentous years when her freshness, suppleness, and mint state passions are, as it were, dammed up? It was generally understood by the ancients, even by the ancestors of the English people, that nothing good happened to her through delay. And a letter written by the Duke of Buckingham urging forward the match between Prince Charles and the Infanta of Spain, he clearly feared the danger of long delay, for he said, "You know that the hawk, when she is first dressed and made ready to fly, having a great will upon her, if the falconer do not follow it at the time, she is in danger to be dulled forever. So basically he's saying it can cause permanent damage to these jail-based, they reach sexual maturity at, say, age 12 or whatever. They're able to reproduce. Some would say, probably their body will be more ready at like 15, hips are more developed. So we could even say 15. Normally when you have an ability, you don't wait for like years and years before you start using that ability. Like as soon as like kids learn to walk, like age 1 or whatever, and then they're walking immediately. We're not like, oh well, their body is able to walk at age 1, but their mind is not really ready to have them walk in a good direction until they're like age 5. So they just shouldn't walk until they're like 5 because they might walk to the wrong place. They might have a traumatic experience trying to walk and falling down or something. It's like we just say, well, when you develop the ability, you just go ahead and start using it. So he's saying, and what would happen if you didn't let a kid walk till they were 5? It might stunt their growth forever. And he's saying, well, it's the same way with sexuality. Like a teenage girl, she's ready for sex, and have a relationship. They crave love and attention and stuff. So if they want that as a teen and they have to keep waiting years and years, maybe they have failed relationships, whatever. Like, it's the fact that they're not getting into like a good marriage and stuff is going to damage them permanently, and then like their whole life is ruined basically. Cause, and I think I've seen that. Yeah, I see these girls, like heavily sheltered religious girls. They're like 25. They've never had a boyfriend, never had sex, and then they've been told, oh, just go to school, focus on college. I think they end up kind of screwed up because they're like, I'm 25. I want my life to be somewhere else than where it is right now. Because they haven't really had the kind of experiences they wanted to have. But on the other hand, the ones who have relationships, if they don't get married or whatever, then a lot of times it's going to break up, and then it's going to be like fucked up by that method also, by that means. There's a lot of problems in modern society with that kind of stuff, that we got away from tradition, got away from putting the female to her natural use. They have like a lot of unhappiness and anxiety because they're not in the kind of situation that they evolved for.
Right.
So if there's a question out of that, basically, what do you think of that passage by Ludovici where he's like comparing her to the hawk? When the hawk is ready to fly and the falconer doesn't let it fly, it's going to be dulled forever. Maybe it's not going to be able to hunt as well because when it was ready, you didn't let it. Same way with like these teenage girls. They're like, I want to have a relationship. I want to have a meaningful one. I want to have a family. And then they're like, no, you gotta stay in school. You got 5 or 10 more years of school, and then maybe you can think about, having some kind of relationship like that. I mean, does it damage them permanently?
It could scar them for life.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Oh, I just thought of another question though. Oh, but elaborate on that if you want.
What was the question?
Okay, the next one was, I was going to be like, what about, okay, so we know that the sexes are different in the sense that, okay, women tend to be more clustered toward the middle of the bell curve. Like, say there's a bell curve of ability, you have like really low ability people on one end, and then you have really high ability on the other. So, like the greatest chess grandmasters are usually going to be men, but also more of the criminals and mental patients and stuff like that are going to be men as well. But women tend to be more toward the middle, just kind of average in their abilities. Well, the upshot of this is you have like these men who are not really fit to be husbands because they're fucked up in the head or whatever, or there's a certain number of men who they're just not cut out for like the 9-to-5 grind, supporting the family. You know, maybe they're geniuses or something, and they're too smart for that environment. You know, or they just don't fit into it for whatever reason. Like, a lot of times genius is associated with autism as well. You know, in certain areas of it. You know, like the nerd. You know, autism being just another word for nerdiness. Let's see, where was I going with this? Okay. So there's a certain number. Let's say it's about 20% of the male population is not really suited for marriage, but pretty much all, like probably, I don't know what percentage. Let's just say 95% of women are suited for marriage. Like there's very few of them that go to prison. You know, they don't really go to war and get killed there. So it's basically a surplus female population. What do we do with them? Yeah. Like one possibility is, okay, we have surplus women around. You know, they can't find any guy that would be suitable husband, so they could become prostitutes, or they could just go into the work world. You know, maybe they're tomboys or something, and they want to be like in a league of their own. You know, they want to play baseball or whatever, or they, some of them want to get into these male occupations or whatever. Some of them become spinsters. The other option is we can have polygamy, and then say, men can have more than one wife. So then men who have extra money and stuff, they can just say, okay, I'll have more than one wife. So what's the best thing to do with the surplus female population? And like, is it prostitution? Is it spinsterhood or polygamy?
Polygamy?
Yeah, that's polygamy. Is like because polygamy, there's two forms of it. There's polyandry and there's polygamy. Yeah, polyandry is woman has more than one husband. Polygamy is more than one wife.
I guess polygamy.
Yeah, that's what I kind of think too. I mean, that's what the Mormons said was the best way. Because, like, what else are you going to do with them? And if they're just kind of running around, then they get kind of resentful because they feel like they were entitled to a husband. So then they're like, well, I'm just going to take it out on society. I'm just going to fuck over society and try to, like, destroy other people's relationships.
What's your battery percentage now at?
Of what? Well, probably about like 20% of the male population.
Your battery, is it dying? What's your battery percentage at?
What's that?
On your phone.
Of that?
Your battery percentage on your phone. Is it Is it going down more?
It's in the red zone. It's at 12%.
Oh, we're going to have to end this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I'd run out of questions for the moment anyway. I guess you ran out of questions also, huh?
Yeah, and my parents are in an argument.
I don't know. They'll calm down. Or something. Yeah, that's what I don't like, is like, when it's endless arguments, and it's always the same.
Well, it's like they won't stop. It's like they won't stop and they just stay up all night.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to end the recording and start a new one, so it doesn't go up to 60 minutes. Like right now. Yes. Go ahead and say it again.
Oh, okay. So I was saying, people are always losing their data to hard drive crashes. Your hard drive is mechanical.
Do you remember
What?
we put down the moment?
Device.
I don't know how to put it. I thought I gave it to you so you would.
Is that it? She gone? Maybe I'll just make a post about it. Okay, I could catch you later. I guess you left.
Oh, well, he hung up. He was talking about terabytes and data. Oh, well. 1, 2, 3. Oh, what the heck? Okay, never mind. Loading. Oh, wow, check that out. It's empty. Disturbing. Interview. Okay, so I'm on Podbean right now. Oh, well, it's not looking good. I know, right? It doesn't look good at all. And there's really nothing. Yo, this is kind of nice. What? I'm able to pull this off. So it got cut off and got disturbed and he hung up. Because my mom, disturbed me. And I couldn't have said stay on the line or something like that. Yeah, true. I guess it doesn't matter anymore at this point. Doesn't matter at this point, yeah. Because he was talking about 1 terabyte and $250 it costs to run the website. Interesting, yeah. Like he was going to talk about it again, but till my mom came in the room and disturbed me and, stopped us from doing it, or him from doing it. And I guess that's the end of that,
So now I'm here waiting, I guess. It'll take a few days to put this together, I guess. No, just upload it tomorrow. I know I couldn't do it tomorrow. I wanted to test the limits, see how long I could go. Well, it's maximum 60 minutes. Maximum 60 minutes. Yeah. I wanted to be perpendicular about this situation. Oh, I'm going out in the living room.
You should have canceled that shit if it didn't go through.
I didn't know when he folded back to that because I put the card in right. If you fold it, but I have in there on the card. It's a tuck up, alright? Shit, I did all the world.
I get worked up over everything.
Like you need to stop. You need to get your fucking brain instead of about to fucking stop.
Shut up! I'm not well. I'm getting stuff when I'm getting over. I don't know. Yeah. Shit, they told me to pull that shit. Now I'm feeling it.
Well, you shouldn't
I
do
was
this
fucking.
shit.
I got 99. Fucking fever.
Then you throw in my face fucking car.
Oh shit,
I didn't even do that.
I didn't go to your face. All I was making a point, you get excited with $100 and I stuck my neck out.
Shit. I didn't have to do that.
Last Sunday, you're all lovey
You're
dovey.
gonna walk out from the You're gonna walk out from the front.
Why would I do that? It don't make no sense. It don't matter. You're gonna want it with your car anyway.
You always do that.
I don't always do nothing. Oh shit. Why do you get excited with $100?
I don't care.
I'm having a fuck up. I got a fever, alright?
I don't care.
Shit. Yeah, ragging on me, and rightfully so.
You were the one who took 3
I
shots.
fucked up, alright? Leave me alone.
She just keeps going and going and going.
Why would I make 3 shots?
You took 3 fucking shots, right? You got fever, dumbass. You were taking 3 shots like that at one time.
So that's what they offered it. They're supposed to be spreading enough.
Well, you were doing dog, you talking.
Well, you raised my blood pressure, don't help.
You got my ass though.
Oh, you're documenting this.
Yeah, I'm letting normal money come.
After a while, now rather than let it transfer, you put us in the red a couple of weeks ago with the fucking dog. I didn't say nothing. I transfer money. I didn't say nothing. And then I got letters in the mail with a big slip of how much they charged me for every fucking one you bought. $30 plus what they paid, plus $30 each time. $120 in late fee because you scratched the check and
And you telling me this now? Why didn't you tell me that the first time it
because you
happened?
didn't tell me we was spending. $120 in late fees for each one they paid, $30.
Well, there's your everybody be pissed off.
I don't have a person, I have the one charge to transfer.
I'll put down the 500.
It's a financial problem.
Telling you what you've been doing.
Oh, you should go down the first time.
If I tell you, it'd be the same.
Stop yelling. Alright. You don't have to yell anymore past that.
Hello, Eric. Well, feel free to call in. We can talk about memory, 1 terabyte. If you're a tech type of guy, hey, bud. Hi. Why don't you feel free to call in? We'll make this much more interesting. I had a very expensive talk with a guy who's runs websites. One moment. I'm gonna keep the door open.
Trying to make things a little easier, and you go
I'm hearing a lot of background noise on your end.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. My parents are
It's
currently in
okay.
an argument.
Oh, your mom and dad?
Yeah.
So you trying to just hide in another room where you don't hear them?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Well, I don't really have too much going on. I thought our friend Robert was gonna do a live music show here soon, but kind of doubt that's gonna happen unless he might have went to sleep early, or hope he hadn't forgot about us. Me and Slightly were looking forward to it.
What do you think about 1 terabyte storage?
Haven't 1 terabyte storage. Never heard of the word terabyte, but um, I've heard of megabyte and gigabyte, but I guess if it's workable technology.
It costs a lot more money, too.
I guess also whatever you can afford,
If you can afford it.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
got off
having
the
a good week
phone.
so far, my friend?
I just got off the phone with Nathan Larson. You know who that is?
Uh-uh.
He's a guy who runs a website called Rapey.
Oh,
Don't go there, though. Because, I
I
went
ain't.
there and I made an account there, and I just regret it.
He must have hacked you or something.
Yeah, well, he doesn't hack anybody. He's just a nice, friendly guy. And that's how everything beginning out. And I just did a second interview with him today.
Oh,
And he was talking about 1 terabyte storages and $250 it costs to run his websites.
oh,
And then he's got flowergirls.su.
uh-huh.
It's a completely new website.
Right.
And I tell you, there's disturbing, twisted, dark stuff posted on there. It's disgusting.
Yes. Well, I mean, thing about me is I make it a point to avoid certain websites, especially websites I don't even know and trust.
Oh, I got a message. I'm gonna have to check that real quick. No, that's nothing.
Oh,
I did apologize to him because of my mom disturbing our interview that we were having. It was nice.
uh-huh. That guy you originally wanted me to email, but you told me not to the Skype message. I mean, which I didn't, of course. Like, were you ever able to get in touch with that person?
Yes, and I got it resolved.
Well, that's good to hear. Look, I think it was probably best that it be between you and that person.
And let's not talk about it. He doesn't want his
Yeah.
get leaked.
Well, it's probably best that it stays that way.
Well, that's good. Did you share this yet?
What's that?
Did you share this yet? You always share podcasts.
Oh, this show?
I know that, yeah.
I mean, I didn't share it out, but if I did, it would only be to people that I know, people like Robert or Onyx or Slightly,
You
because
don't share it completely public.
no, I would only share it to people that I know, like, but people that you and I know and trust. Like, I know besides Slightly, I know like John DeVito, the old.
Or nonsense. Okay, his audio just went out. Well, no, I don't like dead silence, so I'm just gonna keep talking here. Thinking of something to say. Well, you did bring Nathan Larson into this. Yeah, I did. And I made this podcast too long, and I just started up my Podbean to add on an anchor, and I make a mistake. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Sorry about that. That was Robert calling me on the phone. Didn't mean for the interruption to happen. Still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm always here. I'm here 24/7.
No, right. I told Robert he's welcome to come over and see you for a little bit, but he might be getting about ready to do his live music show here in a little bit. You know, the Mr. Clean podcast where he plays music, and he'll even take song requests too.
What kind of songs does he sing?
I mean, he'll just like play like traditional music like you hear on the radio when you're in the car. You know, like music you would hear on the FM dial, but he will not play music that contains vulgar and explicit lyrics, since his shows are typically not rated explicit.
Ah, right.
But like I was saying, like the only people like I would probably share your show out for sure too, you know, besides Robert, I know I would share it out to Slightly because I trust him and Onyx and the old man Dina Joe and John DeVito because they're very good people.
Yeah, I'm actually building on the podcast a little bit, adding a little Podbean stuff to it too. I mean, it had a good start.
But, well, the good news is me and Slightly are going to start doing some like test shows on the new platform starting next week because we want to make sure that the new podcast platform is going to really work out, and hopefully we're going to start slowly inviting over friends like you know, we would certainly welcome you and Robert coming over. We would welcome also John DeVito, the old man Adina Joe, and Cracks from the Talking Corner, Dennis Lee and Donald Wayne from the Tall Tales in the Rabbit Hole and Trice Talk podcasts, and we would certainly welcome having Frankie D from Frankie D's Crib come over, and then yours truly and Mr. Impact from the Crosstalk podcast. And Robert just sent a Discord message that he's live now.
Here's my new Discord tag. If you haven't had it yet, I had to delete old accounts, so I made a new account, and I called it Jake92. So you can add me on that new account, so when the new platform goes live, you could share it to me.
Uh-huh.
Because I just still kept being accused falsely.
So the IRX account is no more?
Yeah, it's dead. It's gone.
Alright. Hang on. Let's see if I can, you know, so Jake 92. What are the four numbers after the Jake 92 and the
2467.
2467.
Yes.
I don't know if it's case sensitive or not. JAKE 92 pound 2467, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
I'm sending you a friend request now. I am E Kirk 8403 pound 5260.
There you go. Now you can keep me in the loop.
Alright.
It doesn't pay to keep that old account anymore. They're just gonna keep coming at me no matter what I do.
Right.
They already ran me off of YouTube, so now the only thing left to do is make a podcast.
Uh-huh. Alright, hang on a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and once again send you, like, our friend Robert, if you want to stay in touch with him and, you know, his Discord. I'm debating whether I should also go ahead and give you Onyx's or not, but I'll be sure to tell Onyx who you are.
That's pretty.
He's another trustworthy guy.
That's pretty much up to you to decide.
I might just only just send you Robert's Discord for now. Hopefully you already got that message. Hang on. And I'm gonna go ahead and copy yours for Robert that you had to go ahead and get rid of the IRX one.
It doesn't matter if you change your name; they're still gonna come at you because they know who you are.
Oh
yeah, have I told you I got doxxed?
I mean, I remember you saying something about that, and
That guy managed to remove it.
Oh.
30 Bitcoin for one-time removal, 60 Bitcoin for blacklisted.
Uh-huh.
And I want to clarify this. I am not a pedophile.
I understand where you're coming from, bud.
What time is it for you?
Well, it's already 2:08 a.m. for me. It's already October 3rd, so you, I think, are about to be 11:10 p.m.
Yeah.
But if you're deciding to get ready to wrap up your show very soon, I will send you an invite to Robert's show if you're interested in dropping by to see him.
No, I'd probably go for an hour, I guess.
But, well, I think Robert will probably run the whole 3 hours because 3 hours is the limit.
Yeah, and on Anchor, 60 minutes is the limit. So you have to start a new recording.
I know that one podcast you did, like when me and Slightly and 2K were on, and we met Miss Peggy, who went by the username Tops. I mean, that was a great show. That was awesome.
I couldn't have gave it a better name.
Yeah.
I think that was number 21 in the bullshit series.
Oh, yes. You remember that one.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was probably one of your best episodes to date. Well, but hopefully Miss Peggy's doing great, and hopefully me and Slightly are successful in getting her on, his show as a guest very soon. And we're also working on hopefully getting, the brother of the 13-year-old, that was shot by police on for an interview, and I'm really super stoked about the members of the Free Think Institute that me and Slightly have managed to reach out to, but I really kind of was the one that mostly busted my ass to get them on, reach out to them, and finally get a hold of them. But hopefully we're going to be working on very soon, getting them on Slightly's show for an interview of sorts.
You like sushi?
But I mean, I've eaten sushi before. I hadn't had any lately. It's easy to get gorged on, but usually I like to get better quality sushi at a Japanese restaurant than getting them at the grocery store.
And the sad reality is, we can't even go to a restaurant during these tough times.
I mean, that is kind of unfortunate, to say the very least. I do agree with that sentiment. But,
Like that sad reality.
I don't know whether Slightly publishes his shows over to Anchor or not. I know he publishes his shows not only out on Podbean, but also out to, like, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Don't know if he's got Pandora, but Amazon Podcasts also picked him up. But hopefully, like, Anchor also picks up his shows, but don't think Castbox does. Don't know about iHeart either.
I mean, you've been a pretty good friend.
Mm-hmm. Well, I really aspire to, really see good in people, if you get where I'm coming from, MCL.
I try my best.
But, well, I mean, it's not always easy, but I will admit that.
I just know that some people are concerned about my health and safety, and they want me to be put back at the mental hospital.
I know me and Slightly and a couple other friends don't really think of you like that. I mean, but we know you have a lot to offer to the world. Hopefully those are some great words of encouragement to you.
I guess people deserve a second chance.
Yeah, but if Slightly does an impromptu show this weekend, I'll reach out to you on the Discord, and if you're interested in dropping by for one of his impromptu shows, I'm sure he would welcome you calling in and talking to us. I mean, we enjoy having.
The reason why I podcast is because I like to record my thoughts and play them back.
It's kind of a form of therapy for you.
Yes, exactly. It's like having a therapist to talk to, but when you don't actually have a therapist.
Yeah. But I wrote that word down in the chat for you, because that might be a word to go by. Well, it's about to be 2:15 in the morning, but I told Robert that I'd be joining him very shortly, but anyhow, I mean, we'll be in touch, MCL, okay?
Okay.
But, just try, like, anything that stresses you out, don't let it get to you, but at least, hopefully this, like, podcast therapy works for you, and, and hopefully there are listening ears who are there to listen to you and offer you words of encouragement and advice.
Yeah, the previous podcast about Nathan Larson has got 400 plays. Can you believe that?
Wow. I wonder how many downloads and that includes with the plays. But I'll see you later, and you have a very blessed. Yes, I understand. But you have a very blessed weekend, okay?
Okay. Thanks.
Talk to you later, my friend.
Thanks for calling.
All right,
bye. And that was Eric. A well understandable person. Oh, this is gonna be a long run. Now I just wait, sit back. If they argue again, I could capture it. And I could have something to listen to. Listen to an argument? Wouldn't that just drive you crazy? Well, yeah, it would probably drive me crazy. But I think the previous one's a decent one. Even though I didn't record that part correctly, because I can't remember exactly what he said. 1 terabyte servers. No, I don't think he said anything about servers. Guess you just gave up on your old account. Yeah, I said Prophecy Blade and Dark Blade. And I put XXX on either side. So it's not really worth having. Because, they're gonna find you out. And when they find you out, they're gonna bug you and keep bugging you. I think 2 podcasts would have been perfect. Yeah, I think I done damage. Damage I cannot undo. It's stuck. Kind of sticks with you a little bit. Well, you knew what you did was wrong. Yes, true. I know what I did was wrong. I'm not trying to admit it or anything like that. Because I don't feel safe admitting to something that I did. And they're going to be listening to this a very, very long time. Because it's going to stick. What was that? If you feel like dropping by anytime, I'm sure Robert would like to welcome you by dropping by. Okay, well, I'm just going to continue sitting here and thinking about the thoughts. How about Bolt for 2008? It was a decent movie. But collecting stuff from the movie has gotten pretty old. And everything's boxed up anyway, I don't care. Pokemon cards, buy that, but never open them. Because later on in life, it'll be worth some money. And when you're worth some money, you're going to have something viable. Really? Yes. That's what I say. Buy something, and later on, you can resell it for a higher value. And you will be rich. We will all be rich someday. Because money is kind of important, to manage money. Despite what anybody says, Are they trying to give you a bad light or something? I know, right? This was a brilliant podcast. But it just doesn't seem with thing going on and all the corruption. Nathan himself is a corrupted man. That's my opinion, though. I don't know what else he'd think. But if he shared this, he'd blow my podcast up. Corrupted, sick, twisted. I don't have anything else to say, honestly. I'm kind of not wanting to participate in posting anything else there because I just dig myself a deeper hole. Well, he is right. It's a free world, a free country. You could do whatever you like. Yeah, but I'm staying off of there for good. Maybe just to look, but not to log in. It's like the saying goes, you can look, but you can't touch. You should just be an online guest looking at stuff. Exactly. But have something proper to do. Be a proper man and do something for once. No, people are trying to end it, but I guess they'll never get the chance to end it, Because people do want to shut the site down. Me, I honestly don't care. I thought you prefer to log in and look at your stuff. Or what messages you have. No. I don't really know anything that I don't want to know. And lastly, as I remember, he was talking about 1 terabyte and how much money it costs to run the website. $250. Is it a good website? I can debate with that. It could be good, it could be bad. But for me, it's intentionally bad because the stuff that's getting posted on there and people that are there, and there's children on that site. I mean, just imagine how worse it could get, It could get very worse. And it could just, it's terrible. It's terrible. I mean, I could care less, about having an account there. As I said, I'd never log in again. Does he have a strong point? He's pretty opinionated. I'll give him that. Would you do a 3rd interview? Yeah, it'd be too much, honestly. But I am willing to interview anybody, ask questions and be interrogated. But I can't really interrogate somebody that much because they get discouraged. I can't just turn people away. I have to come up with something. So it's like an interrogation chamber or something like that. Well, yeah, kinda. Or going to jail or something like that. That could be the worst place for anybody to be right now. Because we talked about that previously. Jail, prison food, and being swatted. And being swatted isn't really the greatest, I think I'm going to take a break again. Now it's hard to take a break when you're distracted. Having this thing is like a distraction, Thinking about the website is a distraction. Maybe look at flower grows again. Well, it is fairly new. I don't really see anything being updated about it yet. I asked if I could do it, but it sounds complicated. Though to run a website like that, yeah. I mean, I create my own websites, but it's not where people can post or join. I'm just talking about that because I could try it if I could figure out what services they're using. But then you're going to need security. I mean, a good security. Tough security so the website doesn't get hacked or DDoSed. Something like that. Would you fight the people that made fun of you? It's pointless to fight. Pointless arguments. So if I left a comment there in my original account, they'd simply just do whatever it is they say to me. I can't defend myself. It's best if I don't interact. When I don't interact, nothing bad happens. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and I regret doing what I did. That was just terrible. I mean, it could mean fatal stuff, Fatal for me. Fatal for anybody. The fatal fate. The death of a diamond. Those crazy, interesting thoughts. Not crazy, but interesting. You'd have to call you back, I know. Or find someone else's phone number so you can call them. I can't just keep doing that. Or go to sleep while you watch a video. Yeah, that usually works. Why you got so weird and awkward with that one call though? Oh, because I wanted to see what his answer was. And it's pretty some good strong points. I wanted to get the best out of this. That's what I wanted. I push forward. That's what I do. Never look back. No, because you can't go back. Exactly. The welcome page just only says welcome. Yeah, true. Too bad you can't use customization, like custom background or something. No, not exactly. I'm planning on going to sleep now. Oh, I know. You gotta stay awake. Guess it's like an extra bonus. Right. My opinion about that cartoon. Paw Patrol, I don't really care for that. And that video game kind of is not the best. Because, for instance, a character repeats himself. Why does he do that? Because it's a kid's game. $19 at Walmart. And I'm not planning on buying that. Because I don't want that kind of game. It's not a game that I'd be interested in. Can't believe your mom will just walk in and interrupt. Yeah, that doesn't matter anyways. What matters is I stay away from that and not go there again. Don't you want to see your new username? I don't think anybody would recognize you. Yeah, true, nobody won't. But I'm in some serious trouble. I mean, that's debatable. I mean, if you never go back, you could be in some serious trouble. A doomslayer never showed up. He would define me everywhere. Yeah, he probably would. But he doesn't know any better. It's just a kid behind a keyboard. If he did find you here doing this, hop on, But you see, he's scared. He doesn't want to hop on. And then, of course, there's Giz Joe, the person from 2014 who accuses me for the wrong false accusations that are being pushed on me, giving me a bad light. I do not want to be shown in a bad light. I mean, I can ramble off for an hour. No, this is very long. You took your time. You will experience this enough. And I have a lot of stuff to say. I never do run out of questions because I was taking questioning seriously. I'm going to question him some more. But you see, I got interrupted. Of course, his phone needs to charge because it was on a low level. Oh, jeez, yeah. And then thus the timing. Because of time zones. Yeah, that's not good, honestly. I should be sitting here asleep, but I can't. I have to build this up, and I have to add more stuff to it. So you'll have a bonus. Wow. Yes, this is the bonus. This is what makes it pretty long, honestly. You invite people. Yeah, I know. But I don't think anybody would come. John Doe from YT. Yeah, that's the name. Not really active, honestly. Well, nobody's cam. I think that's good. Yeah, that got awkward and weird. I don't know why you asked that in the first place. I wanted to add on that spice, that flair, that fire. I wanted to make sure I asked that. Because if I didn't ask it, I wouldn't have that flair or the fire. To 11:36. You've been at it for a while. Well, you gotta put it together. Well, people are gonna have to question me about this. This is unacceptable. What a rotten man. People have opinions, but I have mixed opinions about him. Mixed opinions, yes. So I just lay here and I think about stuff. What do you like to think about? It's having money. Having money. Why? You think you're poor and broke? You think you're not rich enough? It's not that. Fantasize about money. But although, yeah,